But I know, you know, we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again, yeah. I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream again, yeah. Facing nights in the morning, white lights are fading in, waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning, yeah. No time for guilt or pleasure, you know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. Used to waking up and complaining, but I know, you know, we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again, yeah. I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream, 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 dream. We tried to work this out before, but now I'm stronger. Ignite the fire once more, but I don't want you. Tracing city lights, make it right. I don't wanna press play. Ooh, days washing away. Facing nights in the morning, white lights are fading in, waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning, yeah. No time for guilt or pleasure, you know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. Facing nights in the morning, white lights are fading in, waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning, yeah. No time for guilt or pleasure, you know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. Lay me by the bay, bathe me in the gray. Tear away my skin, see me from within. Waterborne, I'm rain, thunder, ocean born. You can't drown me. You can't drown me.
Welcome, everybody, to the final series of the entire upper division of the entire DPC Season 2. That's right. Every other team in every other region has been determined for the upcoming major. There's still a few Division 2 tiebreakers that needed to be determined in North America and Eastern Europe, but this is going to determine who's going to be showing up in Kyiv, who is going to be taking the group stage slot, and who's going to be taking the second wildcard slot. And I'm going to be closing out the show with my boys, Lizard and Lacoste. What a pleasure it has been.
What a pleasure, Tsunami. It's been a wild ride, a long one.
I know.
And this game is a proper culmination to the whole DPC Season 2, I would say. Two teams that are battling it out to see who's going to go to, what you said, group stages and who's
wild
going
cards
to wild
group
cards.
stage.
Exactly. But, man, these two teams, they can just as well win the major. That's how strong they are.
Yeah, definitely. Completely agree. And also agree on the part that, you know, these past 6 weeks have been very enjoyable. They came quickly. Like, it feels like, you know, when you start, man, 6 weeks, it's a long
Dude,
time.
I remember seeing 0-0s on all of these things.
And now watching green ones on top, watching some of the teams being relegated. It's just a great story, something that we're going to remember, something that we're going to talk to our kids when Dota 3 comes out.
Sure.
You know, remember back in my days, you know, I was there showing them the clips while they're playing Dota 3. You ask them, are you winning, son? They still no. And then you tap them on the back. I understand. I've been there. You know, bring them some snacks, bring them some sodas.
You're going to support that lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm going to be a support dad for sure.
You should be, especially for these players. These players are, like you said, honestly, it could be major contender winners. Every single one of the Chinese teams, PSG.LGD came from wild cards in the previous major in Singapore, ended up making it to third place. It's no surprise that these two, ViCi and LGD, yet again, could very well secure themselves a championship slot, secure themselves a TI slot, because points are still very, very important for both these teams. So even between second place and third place, there's some differences in points in the league awarding. And then making it to the major. If you're in wildcards, you're going to have to go up against IG Lizard, the champions of the previous Singapore major.
Yeah, of the previous season and the Singapore major, right? Yeah, I think they're not that worried, these two teams. I really don't think so, because they've improved throughout the season tremendously. Meanwhile, IG has been struggling a little bit, didn't ever show us the true form that came from Season 1, hence they are already confirmed for the wildcards, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, PSG.LGD, okay, at the end of the last season, they had a straight upward trajectory when it comes to their form and the way they played. They improved, and that's one of the reasons why they ended as third place in the Singapore major. However, in my opinion, right now, ViCi Gaming is in that spot. They feel like the team that's just so solid.
I'll give a slight edge here to ViCi Gaming. Even though both of these teams, it's very hard to say which team is better, because they've been playing some amazing Dota. Same goes for Team Aster. We talked about the support duo, PYW, DY on ViCi Gaming, the most stable support duo in China, maybe even in the world, in my opinion. Just look too solid. Then on the other side, you have Old 11 to mix things up. He doesn't necessarily need to be stable. He needs to bring a bit of chaos from the off lane, and it's exactly what he does. Also, Ori has been popping off. Ori looks 10 out of 10 lately. It's just like his signature heroes, Linas, Temporal Assassins, even OD from time to time. He just shines on those. I think the current meta really benefits him.
And he's the one in the first season that we kind of, you know, you see him, he's doing well, but he's never popping off. He's never being Ori. And what you expect from him, like Lacoste said, is this insane momentum that just takes your game to victories from that mid lane.
Ori back to his old glory.
Ori
I like the rhyming.
Meanwhile, in first season, nothing to say was in his patch. Like he was playing those Dead Prophets, guys on point with the heroes. Like you can't say anything about that, and you have nothing to say about that. That's why they were third in the Singapore major. However, in this patch, I feel like they are forced to experiment a little bit more with him. They do give him Magnus here and there, and they do well with that Magnus.
Well, didn't you say that he has like 80-85% win rate on Mag?
Yeah, that's right.
In competitive matches, so definitely a hero to look out for.
Yeah, and especially we've said it time and time again over the course of years even that you know what I'm about to talk about. You know I'm about to talk about Ame.
Oh, okay, never mind.
The LGD Ame is ultimately the make or break so many times.
He is, but the whole PSG.LGD squad has been stable lately, like winning most of their series. And, you know, maybe Ame in the previous season tended to throw a little bit more.
More than right now?
Yeah, with his Monkey King refusing to buy BKBs, going BKB as a 6th item, which is, you know, something that you do not want to see in a professional match, being really stubborn. But it's Ame. Ame can be like the best player in the world in the game, or you can
just throw it.
Or you can be a big question mark, like what's happening.
That's something that I actually want to expand on. If you look at Ame in the last patch, when you give him that monkey, he feels so comfortable on the hero. He's so good with him. It's one of his most played that he kind of likes to, you know, step over the border, over the line, and throw sometimes. It happens. But when the meta is different, when not all of his top played heroes are in the meta, then you can see a little bit even more stability from him because he's a bit more careful.
Ame more in Season 2, I gotta say,
For
compared
sure.
to the previous season where I think it was not just him, it was more carries being one-dimensional about the itemization. If
You know
remember
what
his
you're getting, right?
Getting that Battle Fury, getting that Aghanim Scepter, SNY, and just pretty much autopiloting. In this one, you need to be able to decide what you want to go for, like you've seen Ursa with the Diffusal Blade. We've seen Trolls building up the Diffusal Blade instead of going for the Maelstrom, which can be like very beneficial in certain situations. So I want to see this Ame, because Ame looked much, much better in Season 2.
We'll see what ViCi Gaming opens up with. It's actually the Snapfire. Meanwhile, PSG.LGD, when it comes to bans, Treant, one of the most popular heroes at the moment in the Chinese region. Lashrak is still in the pool as Nyx Assassin has been banned out. We might see that. Meanwhile, ViCi Gaming with the Mars and actually the Enchantress. Enchantress that's been highly contested by both of these teams. Like, it's a hero on the rise. And
Enchantress, like in all regions, just feels super strong laner, scales well. We see this Solar Crest rush, so no surprise there that it's getting banned out. The position 5-4 that scales really well into the late game, hits the timing, pure damage, counters a lot of heroes like, let's say, a Tidehunter, Timbersaw, something that you know, has built-in block damage or a lot of armor.
counters a lot of heroes that can't play against dispels as well. So that's also a problem for your Darkseers, for the summon heroes as well. So Enchantress,
Not all summon heroes,
deservingly
though.
contested at the
There's
moment.
Broodmother still in the pool.
there is, but
And that's
Brood,
something that we never see slip through first ban phase.
especially versus ViCi Gaming when you think about the bugs,
Yeah.
right? But Brood, it has been figured out a little bit. Lashrock, however, I don't think so.
All reliable.
They go with the Lash
like
Warlock.
this amount of damage that these two heroes output is going to be insane. No matter what stage of the game we're talking about, you have an ability to break the team fight, and Fatal Bonds plus Lashrak, insane amount of damage that he deals is going to be good. So what do they need? They need something that matches up nicely against Lashrak. That's definitely going to be... I mean, they could swap things around. I believe Jin-Q played one game position for Lashrak.
Yeah, they did. Okay, with the Bristle picked up, now you have to, maybe you have to think about covering this hero. Maybe some Timbers, some
Viper
heroes,
bands,
Vipers, these breaks, heroes that deal well with strength. Heroes that can turn you around as well are pretty strong. But what I'm expecting is this Warlock to finally be figured out, but I'm not seeing it.
After seeing Lifestealer ban, I think they need to ban Spectre. Spectre is really good against Snapfire, can't use Mortimer's Kisses, otherwise you're just going to get ran at. Spectre ulti on top of you, Warlock Spectre, strong combination throughout the Dota history, and we see it
Maybe
back
some,
once again.
not sure, but maybe some jug ban from PSG.LGD as well. Like when you look at Warlock, if you remember historically how he's been countered is like you actually have to worry about Fatal Bonds. Having a hero that can dispel that early on or itemize to dispel it is always very beneficial. But it feels like Warlock right now has too many dimensions, so you can't worry about only those Fatal Bonds.
Dude, he's a team fighter.
Yeah,
he's a farmer. He's a lane pusher. He's
healer.
He's a
and
healer.
I
He's a
think
healer, he's a lover,
is number
he's a-
one right now. Like,
does the
that's
song
his
go?
role. With Shard, with the talent.
I'm a lover.
Yeah, but he doesn't say healer.
I can't remember.
I don't remember. Is it I'm a fighter?
I'm a fighter.
Oh, he does both, regardless.
Yeah, he does everything.
Though you were, Lacoste, you were assuming that this Bristleback is an offlane Bristleback because you were saying to ban out carries like Spectre.
Yeah, they can also pick Morphling for PSG.LGD. It's a free Morphling game. If it's offlane Bristle, then you just have the full stick all the time. They can't burst you down, especially with the Warlock, something that the PSG.LGD and Amel loves to play Morph. If it's a good Morph game, we'll see.
And you are building into that Skadi later on as well, which always makes Bristleback's life more difficult. So these Skadi builders, high armor heroes, it's usually what you see versus the Bristleback.
Also versus the Bristleback, we saw that overwhelming blink on a Leshrac. If this game goes late, I could definitely see that being value.
Seen different builds on Leshrac. One game, there was a core Leshrac building Octarine Core with the Shard. We see Kai Assange being really popular. Shard overall feels really good, whether you buy it yourself or get it from Roche.
I never see Scepter, though. I thought Nihilism was so good, and we never see it.
I guess it's good for him, but not for the whole team. So maybe that's one of the reasons why you're not buying
it's a selfish
it.
item.
It's very expensive as well, but PSG.LGD, if I could see it,
To ban out the Timber
like to ban out the Timber, so I'm pretty sure ViCi Gaming saw it as well, and they have something prepared for the Timber pick.
PSG.LGD doesn't have a hero that moves around and ganks. Like Leshrac is okay, he can go in and try to force a tower with his edict, but
You have
I
Timber.
want to see, sure, like the Timber also does the same thing. Parks in front of the tower, being very annoying. You guys got to focus me. But I want to see some, like if lanes don't go well for PSG.LGD, these heroes are very hard to move around the map and do stuff. They're cooldown dependent. With Warlock, other two heroes, they can fight pretty much all the time. So I want to see something that can go around and do stuff. Maybe... It's hard to say now. I want to see another hero.
How about Xingqiu Hoodwink? You know, the Hoodwink Timber Saw synergy, cut down all the trees.
Let's go. It's the word. I played with
It's
Timbers.
so bad.
It's so bad. You just hate yourself. But you can plant a tree for him to Timber
to chain onto, and then your stun ends if you ever manage to bushwhack anyone to it.
Yeah, it's not the greatest combination. However, Hoodwink is good versus Bristle because of the break. You might
That's
think
true.
about something like PA as well with Fan of Knives, right? It's an option.
Or Viper,
it's
which
an
is
Ame
somehow
hero
still
as
in the
well.
pool. Oh my god, please pick Viper.
Just pick Viper mid, put Leshrac on 4, and last pick something that's decent versus the Spectre as well.
I think it should be a Viper pick.
Bro, how do you not ban it out when you already have a Bristleback on your team and then you pick a Spectre also?
I think the talk here was they will probably get Spectre for themselves, so let's steal it. You know, it's a good Spectre game, and then you end up with, you know, wonky draft.
There was a patch in which Spectre was so damn broken that she would win even versus Viper.
Yeah.
You just itemize into that big KB, and then you take care of him first during team fights. Plus, he's really slow to move from one fight to another. You always maneuver around that. However, I think it's always a bait. I think Viper is extremely strong, but they go with the Doom instead. You still get a break, I suppose.
With the Scepter.
And this should mean what exactly? Doom 4, Doom offlane, Timber... their draft is very open at the moment.
I think it's offlane... Wait, what? It's mid-Doom, offlane Timber, and then you have Leshrac, Warlock as supports.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Lesh supports.
Xingqiu did play it.
Why don't they get something like Viper and just break him?
I know, right? Are we missing something?
I mean, it's not that great on ViCi Gaming. I guess it's good, but you don't necessarily... Like, if I was PSG.LGD, I would have gotten that Viper there, 100%.
I mean, for ViCi, Corrosive Skin, Magic Resistance versus the Leshrac, break for the Timber Saw.
It's nice. They can get it too, yeah.
If they're looking for their 4 position on ViCi, still have Phoenix available in the pool, not really very many egg hitters.
None at all, actually. Like, none of these heroes attack the egg, so it could work, but you also don't have any reliable stuns on ViCi Gaming. I would like to see that. And instead they go with the Brood into a Timber.
Bro, what are these drafts?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, this is something that we haven't seen. Both of these teams have been very stable in terms of drafting, not experimenting too much, especially ViCi Gaming. Like, their go-to Nyx Assassin, that Prophet, win the game off of that.
right?
And now we have, like, on the other side, a lot of overlapping with the roles.
By the way, Brood Mother at the moment is much stronger versus Timber than she used to be.
Yeah.
Because of all the magic
Insatiable
damage.
hunger.
Yeah, the insatiable hunger and all the magic damage from the spiderlings when they're attacking you with the silken ball. Damaging the Timber. If you itemize into, so you're actually damaging the Timber. If you itemize into an Orchid, you can take him down. It's not this beast of a hero that takes no damage anymore. However, you can itemize against that as well. You buy any sort of a dispel early on Timber Saw, and then that silken ball, it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and he murders your spiderlings. Even if you get a pipe, he's just going to pure damage through it with Chakram.
Exactly. So you can see them laughing. They're not really sure what's happening as well.
Jowate is 10 steps ahead. Everyone's
Everyone's laughing. Like, what are these guys? What did we just do? What did we do to ourselves? But most importantly, what did they do with their own draft?
Are they trying to confuse us? Is that what it is? Some support Brood coming?
I mean, these are teams
I've been
that
calling for it since
you have been.
we have not seen it yet. We have not seen it. They ban out Morphling. It would be a good Morphling game because they have no burst damage, like literally 0 burst.
Yeah. I do like Spectre versus Morphling overall as carry-to-carry matchup, but yeah, it would be a very good Morphling game overall.
Also for Ame, there's Terrorblade.
Yep. Decent TB game. Not enough magical damage burst. What else could they get? A lot of carries just getting banned out. Maybe not so much in this series, but overall carries most of the time in the second phase, yeah, even third phase, are just being heavily targeted.
And for ViCi Gaming,
It's a
still
support,
have
right? Like it's your 5 or 4
Death
hero.
Prophet?
Clockwork.
No, sure, why not Clockwork?
Okay, gives you some catch, set up with the Snapfire, gives you some stuns. A hero that can get on top of Warlock easily. Not that bad, but they don't really have reliable setups on the side of ViCi Gaming. They don't have reliable anything, really. This draft looks very unreliable.
I don't think I've had a feeling like this in a very long time. Like, I'm trying to figure out, which team has a better draft. I don't know. I actually don't know.
I don't know. I will say that ViCi have better late game potential, I think, but Broodmother is oftentimes such a liability that you can't even let Spectre do Spectre things.
These are 1, 2, 3, 4 melee heroes against Doom, Timber, Lash. PSG.LGD looks better just by, and now they pick Mag.
What?
This is Mag carry, right?
Carry Mag,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep, Ame is playing it.
I can't believe Nothing to Say is not going to play Magnus on PSG.LGD with like 90% win rate in competitive games. It's insane.
Well, we'll see what Ame can do. Ame is entertainer.
Sure. He's a showman.
He's a fighter. He's a
lover.
He's an entertainer.
I don't know what to make of these. I need another brain. I need 2 more brains to help me decipher this. Let's see if Black or B-Cup might have a, rub those temples.
Do you have anything?
No.
Oh, jeez, not good. Black, you're the last brain remaining.
Yeah, I thought Magnus was actually a good pickup at the end there.
Okay.
And Doom pretty much counters both of the game winners of VG. So it looks pretty straightforward for LGD, I think.
Is that with a scepter or even before the scepter? On
With the
Doom?
scepter. I mean,
Okay.
you just break heroes for 22 seconds, they just can't play Dota. Both of them.
So does that mean you're going PSG.LGD? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the first one. B-Cup, up to you now.
Wait, what? I don't go last?
We don't have the brain power capable of deciphering. Only you, Black.
Yeah, I can go LGD.
All right.
I can do that.
We'll
I think.
keep going right to left then. I am also going to go LGD. I think that they're both very weird drafts, but LGD is slightly less weird.
Yeah, their team fight looks much stronger as well, right?
True.
It's straightforward. You have Lash, Fatal Bonds, Warlock Ulti, Doom, Timber. You should be able to take these fights very well, but I'm just not sold on the Magnus carry, and because of that reason, I'll go with ViCi Gaming.
What a
instead.
twist. Okay, Lacoste.
But I'm going to go with PSG.LGD. I think they don't have the answer for this Timber Saw. And yeah, Doom completely counters. Like, it takes time, but we've seen in the Southeast Asia region and some other regions what Doom can do. So I'm going to go with them.
Anyone who's just now tuning in, welcome to the China region. Of course, this is typical, and I hope you enjoy the final series of the Upper Division with B Cup and Black.
Final series.
Final
Tiebreaker
season.
series. We got another one of the
Yep.
second season.
Final
coming
game,
in.
final series of
Final series, not final game.
final
There's
series.
SBO
sorry, yeah.
3.
Final series of this season for China.
So
If VG wins, they're 700 points. If LGD wins,
They're
they're almost at the
800 points.
threshold.
Yeah.
1 point short, but we don't talk about that.
should be enough though.
Should be enough. So it's a must-win for both of them.
30 seconds
Well,
to battle.
realistically, they still have the major to get some points as well.
Yeah, whether or not they win, it's just how far into the major are they going to be?
Yeah. It's going to be a good series. However, I feel like this draft, VG can snowball for sure.
Yeah.
Like they have a Brood and Bristol lineup. Clockwork can get a lot of pickups together with the Snapfire. Sure, but once this Doom reaches that mid-late game, he gets this Agonist Refresher, this game is just over, I think. You Doom the Spectre, you Doom the Bristol, they're broken for 22 seconds, what do you do? Like,
Not much.
I don't even know what you can do.
So I know normally we have predictions at dpc.pwesports.cn/fun.
No more.
No more. I made my own.
Okay.
For all you guys in chat, you can hit up the poll on my Twitter or just chat it. For the 3 questions I got, how many blue or red heroes will be picked this series between these two teams? In Game 2, what's going to be the total combined CS of Poyoyo and Ame? And then in Game 2, how many bottles will be purchased?
2.
I have 0 to 1, 2, and 3+ as the 3 answers you could choose from. Because this is a region where a lot of the offlaners buy bottles.
Used to. Not anymore.
It's not as common anymore.
Yeah.
But that's why I did 0, 1, 2, 3+.
Yeah, you put some thought into it. I like that.
Stun comes out on the Poyoyo. He's taking a lot of harassment here. We've got this 4-position Leshrac. We've been seeing a lot of core Leshrac, but when we've seen the support Leshrac, you see that shard pretty early on.
Yeah. It is just really good to cause disruption in team fights, zone people. I don't know if anyone is still not convinced by it in this SEA/China panel. Maybe Tsunami is still...
Thinking about it.
Yeah. But it's a really good shard. Especially against heroes like Clockwork. If you're ever stuck in that cock yourself, you have to like scramble to get out of there, maybe get stunned another time. It's just super annoying. And the radius is actually massive.
Yeah, by the second one, it's already a problem. And the third one, it's such a good zoning tool, not only to defend the high ground, but to just, in general, fight around.
It is. I'm a big fan of it. And also, Leshrac in general, I'm a very big fan of. Whether it's in the 4 or mid. Even offlane can work, I think. Occasionally even carry. I think Liquid likes that quite a bit. But the hero just has a lot of damage, no matter what position you play it in.
And I'm interested to see this Brood build because already Old 11 has Orb of Corrosion queued up, which is not something we were seeing from these Broods.
Now, the problem is with Magnus in this lane is you would think he does very well against Brood, but he doesn't. Like, the lane is actually not good for Magnus. It's just like in the mid game, you're quite good against him. You can hold your towers. You can just stand against him 1v1, which is something you want from one of your heroes. I guess Timbersaw can also do it. So they have 2 solutions to that. But like, the lane against Brood is just almost impossible. He's even maxing the Hunger. Already 2 levels into it. No Silicon Bola at all.
Yeah, getting that extra 40 damage, the 80% lifesteal every 35 seconds for 10 seconds feels quite nice to just sustain in this lane in.
I still I can't believe that we haven't had like a change to the percentage of that.
Yeah.
70% level 1 is ridiculous.
And by the time you've got it level 4, 100% is... I mean, starting at 70 is nuts.
Yeah. At least it doesn't scale to like 200%. That would be
Absurd.
It already is absurd. But yeah, I'm hoping that we get maybe like a little hot fix after the season is over, or rather before the major or something like that. Would be cool.
Quick, but well, how many days? It's like a week between the end of this.
When does the major even start?
I think it's like a week from now. So you'd have like a week to
I guess you
brush
can't really
up.
do that then.
I think you could.
I wouldn't mind it.
As you know, I'm a big fan of chaos. So just to make a new patch or like a,
Like a D patch.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't like be super ultra massive, you know. It's just like from 70 to 50 or something. Make it a bit more balanced. Make it scale a little better. You know what I'm a big fan of? Bristleback's skill goo. And Ori is one of them.
Yeah, he scaled that goo.
That is so good. If Doom is ever caught out of position, you could potentially get a kill or force him to TP. And I love this itemization on Doom as well. Usually I say I hate Midas on mid Doom. But in this kind of game, where you are basically the winning condition because you get your Aghanims, you get your Refresher, you just make both of their cores be useless for the longest time. I think it makes a lot of sense. You just want to scale and be rich.
Yeah, you want to be up there in the farm, in that net worth.
100%. But Ori is doing very well for himself. He's keeping up with the Doom that has Devour, of course.
At least for now, yeah.
Which is not an easy thing to do. Do they have any ancient stacks? One so far.
How early of an Ags game is this for Bristleback?
I think we just
If
always
at all.
go Axe.
But like, is that what item is that for you? Second, third?
I think it depends on the game. Like, in this game, Vanguard seems useless. So I'd probably go Shroud. For me, it's still Shroud is a must-have item on Bristol, just to sustain your mana, get the spell lifesteal. You upgrade boots, then you can make a case for either Aghanims right there, or Lotus Orb. Because Lotus Orb, this game is amazing. You dispel Fatal Bonds, you make Doom himself. It's very good, but either way, I think he's gonna build both, like Aghanims as well as Lotus Orb.
Yeah, I've been watching you build Eternal Shroud on Bristle. I think I saw you do it a couple times in the first season even. It's just
Yeah,
the
it's so-
go-to item.
It's so broken. I'm sure if the cost was here, I could tell you some things about that. I've beaten his deck many times by just pressing W. I've been kicked
Easy
in,
hero to play.
He kicked me into the fountain and I killed all of them.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, that was fun.
Sure.
You make best situation out of no situation.
By the way, nothing to say recently hitting
12K.
12K MMR.
Not an easy feat.
Yeah. But the question becomes, so many players are hitting 12K MMR. And I say that like, the first player to hit 10K was like a big thing. Now
First
we're-
player to hit 8K was a big thing.
Yeah, now we're talking about 12K, 4,000
I mean,
more
that's
MMR.
just MMR inflation, right? I'm still 100% sure there should be a hard MMR reset because a lot of people right now are in a place where they shouldn't be. Simply because of, that's how inflation works, right? Like you change the MMR system from getting 5 MMR and losing like 30 to gaining and losing 30. Because like back then, if you were one of the highest MMR players, you would literally just gain 5 MMR per win and lose like 30.
Jeez.
Which made a lot of people very mad. But that's how MMR should work.
Capped.
Yeah, like if I'm playing StarCraft 2, I'm a Grandmaster player, I play against the Master player and he beats me, he should get way more points than I should for beating him.
Right.
Because I'm better than him. It's probably harder to make a case for that in a team game like Dota. But yeah, like MMR inflation is real and there should be a reset. But enough about that.
Back into the game we go. So you're just telling me that my MMR should be lower, or is it just my MMR has gone down because I'm in EU, not NA right now?
Your MMR should be way higher, B-Cup. I told you that many times. I think you have potential.
I need the coaching.
He's diving the Doom right now. He's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's got 4 stacks of the Viscous Nasal Goo on him. Not a lot of creeps, though, to tank this tower left, so Ori can't exactly just make the dive.
Yep. And Doom is pretty tanky now under the tower 8 armor.
Fire Snap Cookie, first blood coming out on the Jinkyu. That's the way to do it, to get that first blood, and that's going to boost Ori up.
Yeah. Pretty unnecessary to try to steal that water rune because it's still a bounty rune anyways.
Yeah.
Like I always feel like post force suiciding for not even a power rune is very
Detrimental.
yeah. Like to their own game, but also the Bristleback now ahead of the Doom in net worth. Even though he has this Devour ability, which gives him so much more gold.
I'm interested to see how quickly he gets into this Midas and then where he goes from there. He's already got himself the Gloves of Haste.
Yeah. I think it's just a standard cookie cutter item build again. Midas, Phase Boots, Blink. BKB. Act Refresher.
So let's see, Ame. He's doing pretty well right now. 2250 in terms of the net worth.
Yeah. I mean,
Compared to
Magnus is
Spectre, only
just
100 gold ahead.
ridiculous. Like, once he empowers himself, he's sitting at like 110 damage plus Quelling Blade. It's almost impossible to last it. I mean, to miss creeps.
Yeah.
Like, you have twice the damage of the tower, basically.
Sitting with level 3 of the Empower.
Yeah. But this lane is going to get very hard for the Spectre soon. And they don't have a single hero that can actually kill his Timbersaw. Until very much later. They need Kisses. They need Clock 6. It's not an easy game to kill Timber at all. And now DY is getting Dove, so be careful.
I think the problem is with even with the low shredder, you're not killing Faith Beyond at the moment. You
no
need
way.
like a +1, maybe even +2 down there.
Maybe even all 5, to be honest. Like most of the damage is physical. The only magic damage you have is from the Kisses. I love the itemization as well, going into the Orb of Corrosion. Because he knows he's pretty much unkillable. He just wants to bully out whoever comes into the lane.
Right.
The good old Ook.
We don't see that item built too much, but he is chasing Y under the tower. Might get a kill top while a kill bottom happens. As Old 11's running down the Y, you can see it in the split screen. DY goes down, Y also falls. So both offlaners getting themselves a kill as fights develop in both lanes.
I'm very surprised by this Brute skill build. No Silicon Bola at all. Usually we see at least one level just to get this slow up.
Right.
But doesn't need it. Dominates the lane anyways.
And now he's going Midas, so he's gotten Orb of Corrosion, going Midas next. This is
Brood.
completely different from what we're seeing from other Broods. And Old 11, at least when, in the beginning of the season when we were seeing Brood picks kind of pick up, he was the one who kind of, to me, felt like one of the top Broods we were going to see all season. So I'm interested to see what this change in build does for him.
Yeah. Can elaborate on that a bit soon. In a bit, rather. Clockwork down there. Trying to get something done, but again, this Timbersaw is not a feasible kill at all until you get your Kisses. And Lesh made it out just in time. Makes me wonder if he's also... Like, he's obviously aware of the fact that his other 2 cores are gonna get doomed eventually. They're gonna get broken. Is he gonna go into a right-click build? Because you, as a Brood, I think, need to right-click this game in order to win.
So that Midas is finished for the Doom. Good Fire Snap Cookie with the Battery Assault to get the Kona Jin Q. They've got the low Shredder. This low Strack not really providing too much, I would say, in the lane. I think Timber's fine by himself. We could, I would say at this point, maybe even see Jin Q start to move around.
Yeah, the lane is also pretty weak. Y in trouble again, and just dead.
Getting
Walked
run
up the
down
hill.
Old 11.
Toward the Ancient stack, but Bristol was already there. He was like, all right, I'll collect my paycheck as well. Thank you, sir. And Doom is actually going face boot straight into the axe. All right.
Wow.
Just wants to make sure that this Bristol cannot play Dota at all. A 22-second Doom is no joke. Like, it's so long.
It's usually the entirety of a fight. Yeah, or more, really.
And also, once you get that Doom talent, it is... How much damage is it? It's going to be 90 for 22 seconds. That's 1960 pure damage. Who can tank that? 1960 pure damage.
Not many. And
Not many. And this is one spell.
yeah. Y coming in and taking away the vision that ViCi had. So you are stacking this camp.
For the Magnus.
And now you're also aware of the fact that ViCi are aware of these stacks.
Yeah.
So
They need to get them soon before Bristol walks in there.
yeah.
100%. And Faith Bian, after taking the bottom tower, leaving the lane to Lash, who needs levels and gold desperately. And just going top to defend the tower against the Brood. Oh, he lost his half hood on the courier. That's a big blow to him. 2 minutes left on that.
Yeah, now Old 11, he's got that Midas.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that Midas Brood, but we'll see. Maybe it pays off. I just hope he doesn't go back into the Aura build, because then Midas makes no sense.
So he's going Axe. At least that's what he's queued right now.
Yeah, I think Axe into like pure right click would be nice.
I always ask about the shard.
Shard is good.
It lowers the recharge time or the refresh rate on spin webs by 15.
Why is that not in the
It's
description?
not in the tooltip. And then it makes the mischance 8. They find
Leshrac.
GQ again. They're going to get the kill on the Leshrac. He's dead for the 3rd time this game.
Yeah. Okay. I also like Ori itemizing into Saint Jasha first. He's not even going Hood or Ags or Lotus Orb. He's just identifying the fact, yep, he's going Aghanims on Doom. If I get doomed, at least I want to reduce the duration by 25%. Which is still like 16 seconds.
A lot of time.
It's also very scary. Like if you get Fatal Bonded and you get doomed, like your team is going to take a lot of damage just from you being doomed.
So 24% shared damage of 1960 pure damage.
Yeah, and that's just one Doom target. If once he dooms 2, the entire team might just die based on that.
And again, it's just one spell. There's
Yeah.
more there.
Way more. Like, we didn't even talk about Golem yet, or RP, or the Timbersaw flying in, or even the Leshrac.
That's the combo you're hoping for, is the 5-man RP into the Chaotic Offering Fatal Bonds.
Yeah, it is very wishful thinking.
That's the dream.
That will like never happen.
Yeah.
I feel like the age of that happening in Dota is long gone, because players just got way too good. Clock might be trying to set up on the Mackie, but he's very tanky.
Well, it was certainly interesting. I don't know if you watched any of these, but like Trent was watching a lot of the old replays of like TI and DAC.
Yeah, I saw it.
And you could like see how different the play styles are.
100%.
How the game has just evolved since then. It's very interesting to watch. And you kind of meant bringing that up and saying that makes a lot of sense. As they go after Faith Beyond, Timber Chain away. I don't know if he's quick enough, but the hook shot he's certainly not. And the Mortimer's Kiss is coming in. Throwing a kiss over to Roche for good luck.
Chain reaction again. If he didn't lose that hood, he wouldn't have died there. Like these courier pickups are super important. And I think that's like the next step of evolution for these Dota players now. Like you gotta get better at microing that courier.
Seems like there's 10 courier deaths a game.
Exactly. And it's so much gold for the enemy team, but more importantly, you're missing your item timings. With that hood, would not have died there. Just would have made a ton of space for his team. Doom is getting very close to his Axe Scepter, 700 away from it. Question is, how will they keep them locked down once they have that Axe? Because they only have really one good AoE stun RP once the Blink Dagger is completed, which it now is. But do you want to RP Doom the same guy? It's a lot of commitment.
I guess you do have a chance though in Split Earth once he gets maybe a Yule's, but he's going 4-staff right now.
Now against the Clockwork, it's
Necessary.
much needed. Yep. Even Fabian is also going into a Kaya. No Yules there. They're working with a very limited amount of stuns.
Cleoyo in the jungle trying to build out this Manta. He's sitting bottom of the cores on the side of ViCi. Ahead of the Timber though, which is not usually characteristic to what we see on Timbers. We'll see them a lot of time towards the top.
Quite poor this game, gotta agree with that. Especially because his lane looked very easy. But I guess he did do a very early rotation to the top lane. Then he did lose his hood, died because of it. This Bristerback is massive. He's going into the Lotus Orb after St. Joshua. Okay.
They have the Ags on Doom now.
He has to be careful on
Hook shot
Timber.
comes in, and Cox push him away. That's probably enough to keep Faith Beyond alive. They're going to bring the Doom over. He's smoked.
And he has a Scepter.
They need a way to control this Bristle, though.
They could just Blink RP him. Because he himself doesn't have any sort of slower stun either.
Like, they want to go with this Doom. They've smoked for it, but they're not going to find anything. So now, does Doom try to not show on the map until, you know, he's ready to use that axe? But anyway, he's under a ward, so they know he has it.
Yeah.
It's a missed opportunity over top as they just didn't have the control to lock down Bristle and make something happen.
Yeah, nothing to say. Needs to find either a Satyr Trickster to get the Purge or the Centaur to get like an additional stun. Because they're working with nothing here.
Brood coming over mid, has an Ags finished himself. So old 11, he's got that Ags. We'll see what he queues up next.
Leshrac, they got a hook shot. He should be dead.
Yeah, Leshrac in trouble. Blade mail pop by Poyoyo. They're chasing Jin-Q down again for the 4th time.
There's no way you're getting out of this.
Even holding the hook shot, they don't even need it.
Yeah, I mean, he had blade mail as well, so there's just no way you can do anything.
You turn, you try to fight, you're dead.
Yep. Another stack being found for business. They're smoking on top of him, but
They found DY, that's not who you want.
nah, well played by DY breaking the smoke.
Yeah, he'll die. Bristle will be able to leave. Ori, he's continuing to keep up a very good pace in terms of his net worth. He's right there with a Brood that's got Midas and a free area to farm.
He's going St. Josh on Brood. I don't agree with that at all.
Finds nothing to say.
Going a bit on the Doom here. He's taking some
And they've
damage.
haunted. They're going to go for nothing to say. They'll throw the Doom out because he's going to die, and now your Doom's wasted.
It's a level 1 Doom that deals no damage.
Hook shot comes through. Chaotic Offering down to the Clockwork. Big ultis used, and they only get a Clockwork out of this. This is not what you're looking for, using these high cooldown ults for LGD.
I mean, you can't just throw out your Doom like that. Because you know your teammates are nowhere near.
Yeah.
Like, and now you respawn, your Doom is going to be on cooldown for almost 2 minutes. It's a pretty big blunder. But yeah, why don't I like St. Joshua on Brood? Because you're not the target he wants to do ever. He wants to doom the Bristol, he wants to doom the Spectre. You will never be doomed this game. Unless your teammates are all dead. I'd much rather see him build just damage. Like AC, Desolator, some maybe Diffuser Blade, Daedalus, you know, just hit hard. Make him want to focus you.
They're just overwhelming the Dire side, though, right now.
They are, and now they're going to Roche.
Yep. With that Axe, he has so many spider webs he can throw, so much control he can make in the Dire jungle. And that's what actually ended up causing Nothing to Say to get caught, too.
100%.
And the ward vision that they have has been quite nice. They'll pick up an Aegis on Ori. That's massive. They've got a deep ward in the triangle. They have a ward in the jungle. This is vision that's not being taken away from the Radiant side. And I mean, it causes that blunder.
I just want to see Ame just RP a single guy. Like, you haven't used RP this entire game. You bought a Blink Dagger. Just use it on anyone. Make use of your cooldowns. Really limited amount of stuns. At least he has the Centaur stun now on Doom. And he will have his Blink Dagger momentarily as well. But LGD did not really put out the pace that I thought they would.
Yeah, it seems a lot slower by them.
Yeah, like just use an RP to get a kill, use a Doom to get a kill, use a Rock to get a kill. That's all you need.
Faith Beyond frontlining right now. Chakram thrown over at old 11. I believe Ame is looking for that opportunity to blink RP, but they don't have Chaotic Offering for 40 seconds, and Doom's up in 8. It's still a level 1 Doom. And
Y is dying?
Clockwork, yeah, they're going to go after Faith Beyond. They're on the backlines on Y as well. They'll get the kill into the Warlock. They look over at Faith Beyond. They've got the Mortimer's Kisses coming down. Stun misses from Jin-Q. They'll chase this Timber. They've got old 11 deep in, so they've already killed up 2 of these heroes on the side of LGD, but here comes Nothing to Say with the Son of the High Ground. They've used the Haunt. They've got the RP coming through onto the Spectre, but it's not going to help Ame. They get the kill to the Magnus. They've taken out 3. They'll look for a 4th as Jin-Q tries to run, but he's got the Spirit Vessel on him and Bristle on his back. Triple kill for Ori, a 4-for-1 in favor of ViCi as they run down LGD on their own side of the map with ease.
Yep, I gotta admit that I think Nothing to Say perhaps went a little bit too cute with that Agon's first item. You don't need that. If you just go blink BKB as per usual, you'll actually be able to fight them toe-to-toe, because you don't need to break them this early. Like, you still have damage coming from other sources. As I said, I thought it was going to be like the 4th or 5th item. Like, but he built it pretty much first, and he just doesn't really have any impact in these fights. I need it as Ame, I guess. It's a tough game to play now because Brood is so big. Just his spiders alone killed the Warlock.
This fight is so split too.
Yeah, which is what Dire hates.
Hookshot in. And this is on to the Doom.
Nothing to
Spirit
Say
Vessel
again.
used. Nothing to Say is dead to rights here. 4 heroes ready to pick him off. LGD getting caught out alone.
Makes me wonder, is it actually the hero? Magnus.
Yeah.
Because like whenever I play it, I feel like I play very differently. Faith Beyond. Makes it out.
Actually, Ori's really low on health there too.
I feel like a lot of Magnus are just waiting too long for like the perfect RP. There's RP a guy, screw him in, scale more. That's what you want. You just want to farm. Use the RP, kill a guy, farm. But what we have seen in SEA in China,
They're not utilizing the hero well enough in the early game.
yeah, they don't use RP at all until there's like a really good situation, which is not necessary if you're a carry Magnus, I think. Because you
That
don't really
situation
rely on
might show
RP.
itself.
Yeah.
You know, you're thinking what? The highlight reel RP? You don't need it.
Yeah, it's like the black hole kind of thing. Just black hole a guy. Kill him.
And look at how deep ViCi are. Like, they're just ready to go.
And Doom still doesn't have his BKB. Now he has
Now
it.
he does.
Magnus also has his BKB. This is like some really strong timings coming out here.
They're going to be spotted. Ori moving forward on this. Nothing to say.
Doom
He does
him?
have that Doom. They've skewered him away. He's by himself in the moment.
But
Now they've got the slow coming in from the Mortimer's Kisses. They want to get the first life out of the hands of Ori to start. They've got the Chaotic offering coming down on Old 11 as well as Ori. So now an opportunity might show itself. Nothing to say, though. Needs to survive. He'll throw the Doom onto Ori. Old 11 is getting out for the moment with his 8 legs, but he is healing up with the lifesteal. It is a level 4 Insatiable Hunger that's giving him that 100% lifesteal. Skewer over, doesn't land on a Poyo. They get the kill on Ori. They'll take out the Bristle, but they end up losing Ame. They'll chase Ring around the Rosie on the tier 2 tower as the spawn Spider Wings finishes off. Nothing to say. Faith Beyond is in with the whirling death damage coming through into DY. They'll get the kill on the Snapfire. It ends up being a 2 for 2 that right now is benefiting ViCi more. The chase is on from Old 11 over onto Y, who goes into the Shadow Amulet, so he'll stay out of vision. And Old 11 will skitter away.
Yep. I think this was still a pretty decent fight, all things considered. Because they fought into an Aegis, which isn't easy. But yeah, you might think maybe it was a little late. Because now VG is still controlling the whole map. But he got a lot of gold on this Timber Saw from this fight. This is a very good gold infusion for him. Yeah, this bruise is tickling him.
Yeah, well, Faith Beyond's doing the same to him.
Yeah, the tickle war.
It's like, oh, I popped Insatiable Hunger. I have 100% lifesteal and 50 bonus damage. Good luck killing me. With your 109 right-click damage.
The endless anime battle.
Yeah.
Both staying at full health the entire time. Saint Jacques has Skadi on Brood. I mean, I said to go on the right-click build, and I guess it somewhat is the right-click build. But he's just going pure annoyance. Like, he's gonna Silicon Bola someone, he's gonna Skadi them up, Orb of Corrosion him up. I mean, it worked so far.
It's annoying.
Can't say anything about it.
And he's getting in and out of fights pretty well.
Yeah, this axe pickup has been amazing for him. It's a 3-man smoke. They're about to catch out Ame, but he has BKB. They don't really have a way to cancel it.
Spectral Dagger, Skewer for some distance, but it's not near the tier 2. They've got the Fire Snap Cookie that lands on Ame. He's holding the BKB, and it might just be too late.
Ah! Okay.
That was a great noise. Why doing his best Chappie impression?
Oh my god, there's a sentry! Oh, it's just out of range. They know he's there, maybe. He just keeps spraying him. Do we know he's there? Or is he just doing it for stacks?
TP's in. They're going to go after DY. Fire Snap Cookie to get some distance. Jinkyu coming over, and...
He has a BKB on Lash, by the way.
Yeah.
Somehow. Clockwork?
Hook shot out on the Jinkyu.
Cocked as well.
They've got the Cogs back to get the kill on the DY. That's on the split screen. Chaotic Offering is going to be pushed in onto that fight. That's over on the Puyo, who's going to use that haunt to jump on a Faith Beyond and get the kill onto the Timber. So they look over at Y, who's running away now, but the Fire Snap Cookie comes in from DY, who bought back, TP'd into the outpost. They've got the Mortimer's Kisses. That's going to slow down. Nothing to say as well as Jinkyu will try to run to the high ground, but they've got the Viscous Nasal Coup with the BKB being popped by. Nothing to say. And now Magnus RP coming in, and the Skewer puts him onto the tier 3 tower. Do they have the damage? They've got the Doom coming in onto Poyoyo. He's in very deep. He'll get the kill on a Jinkyu. He'll at least get one out of this. They'll finish off Poyoyo. Old 11 looking to get the kill on Nothing to say. They'll look for the Sun. They've got the Inferno. Wait for the damage coming in from this. Ooh, Rocket Flare kills off Nothing to say from PYW. So still, ViCi, they come out ahead, losing that Spectre and being RP'd and skewered back into the base of LGD.
Yeah, he wanted to appear 2 or 3 there, but he baited himself a little bit there and ended up with only 1 hero. Happens a lot of times. They're like, yeah, waiting this little split second. Only got 1. end up killing the Spectre, but clockwork.
Quick shot onto Magnus, and now they've got the Fire Snap
he's
Cookie, a
dead
little
too.
shredder, and the right-click damage is there.
He has buyback, but he has no RP. They have no Doom. This might just be GG, honestly. His Broodmother is pushing so fast.
Yeah, it's looking really bad. Wise dead, buyback from the Magnus.
There was also a small misplay where the Shockwave pulled him out of the Centaur stun of the Doom. Potentially the Brute might have even died there. Well, it's not really a mistake, it's more like unfortunate. Because you can't really communicate this kind of thing.
Scotty finished for this Brood.
Yeah, this Brood is just way too big. He's actually at 18k net worth. Far above anybody.
Massive. Maybe this is the right way to play Brood.
Definitely in a game like this.
Their map, the dire side is just littered with
Yeah.
webs.
I mean, what map?
It's under webs.
Like, look at LGD. They're not leaving the base at all.
Yeah, they need Frodo to slay Old 11.
Didn't Frodo lose?
Yes. So, even that's not going to work out well for him.
He had a cool... Is it even considered a sword, a dagger? Blade?
Lucas is probably mad at us for ruining the reference. He's a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Okay. Wakanda.
Go and get Roche, Aegis Cheese,
Shark.
Axe Shard to Bristle. I was really hoping Old 11 would get it. I just want to see one Silken Bull.
I wanted to give it to Spectre, actually. Imagine you get Fatal Bond's damage, you just directly haunt on top of the Warlock with the Dispersion ability. But yeah, at this point, I really don't know what LGD can do. Because getting a good RP off against the Spectre is
Hard.
hard work. Doom, fight through the blink. Oh my god, Wise is dead. He has buyback
He's
though.
not been allowed to play Dota too much, really. BKB gets popped by nothing to say. They already got the kill on a Y. Mortimer's Kiss is flying in. There's that shard coming into play, which is actually harder to see than when it's coming out because of the webs. It was the plan all along.
Webby Bebby.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top
Yeah,
tower
but this is also what the panel said, and I have the same sentiment on the situation. Like, ViCi is just a much more stable, solid team right now.
I think there are times when LGD look better,
Yeah.
but
Stability,
in a
though.
draft like this, I agree with the Magnus sentiment. Like, it just has not been played the right way to win these games, and we've seen it in both SEA and China. It just continues to struggle in the safe lane.
Yeah. I mean, I personally still believe in the hero. Broodmother running in and out.
Yeah, they already got the kill on a PYW.
Yeah. I really think LGD usually loses when the game gets chaotic. Like, they're very good in these cookie cutter standard games, but when it's all over the place, LGD gets lost very easily, I think.
I'd like to see nothing to say not on the Doom, too.
He's taking a lot of damage here on the Timber.
They landed the
Good
stun.
bit.
They're going to blink in. They've got the Shockwave. They're looking for the Skewer back, but they're not going to land it. Now here comes Old 11. Faith Beyond kind of left by himself. They've got the Chaotic Offering coming down on the Bristle as well as the Spectre. They've done a lot of damage on a Boyoyo. They're trying to kill off this Spectre. They've got the right-click damage, but Jinkyu with BKB even. Stun lands onto Old 11. But he'll back out of the fight for now. They've got the RPUs. Spectre getting low with the BKB pop by Ame. Do they have the damage? There's the Skewer. It's not looking like it, but the stuns are starting to stack up. Puyoyo in trouble. He gets low. Jinkyu's dead. Old 11 on the run, and Puyoyo goes down. They got the Bristle off camera, and they'll take out Old 11. The Mortimer's Kisses out of Ame as he's trying to TP away, and the Rocket Flare kills him. Ame, he tries to get out. He bought back earlier, so he's going to be dead for 107 seconds. They do finish off DY, PYW in trouble, and LGD right back in the game with what could be a team wipe and is. Faith Beyond finishing off the double and the wipe. That is massive for LGD.
So they lose every team fight they're supposed to win, and they win the team fight they're supposed to get crushed in.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Faith
How
Beyond
did they even
taking
kill a
off.
Spectre twice? Like, where's the damage coming from?
So the stun comes in, and they're fighting in this zone where the stun is. Jinkyu survives long enough to just continue to place these stuns under the webs. So constantly there's lockdown available. He pops the BKB here. Gets another stun down.
And Bristol gets solo killed by the Doom.
And look at this, he's still surviving and finally falls. But these stuns are going to come back into play. The Skewer keeping him on the stun, stunning him again. And he's so slow, they get the second kill. And they look over at Old 11, he's trying to juke them out, but can't.
I guess it's a problem if your Brute doesn't buy BKB. Like, Lesh just retreated into his 2 stun zones, and just every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He just keeps getting stunned. And once again, Tsunami, this is why
Why just Tsunami? Did he say he doesn't like the shard?
Yeah, multiple times. He said he's starting to become a believer, but not quite yet. I hope this changes his opinion on it.
Yeah.
It went from 20k to 7k. And now Doom almost has a refresher suddenly.
Yeah. He needs to see the face of this refresher shard and become a believer. No doubt in his mind. He's got to be in love.
Oh, he's going Aghanim's as well, Nihilism.
Ooh.
It's so good against
Okay.
Brute because he's not building BKB. For anybody that doesn't know what it does, it's an AoE, ethereal, blade, ghost scepter kind of form.
Yeah,
that
we haven't
slows
seen it
enemies.
much.
It's very good.
30% more magic damage, slowed by 30% for 4 seconds.
And you get faster.
Yep.
You do that on top of a couple of split earths. Good luck getting out of there. The only thing I hate about it is that suddenly Edict doesn't deal any damage. He went actually full stats on Sync-Q. Didn't even skill Lightning. Just wants to have as much HP as possible.
Clockwork also has the hook shot.
Doom is just a sliver of gold away from his refresher. That could be so game-winning. You Doom the Spectre, you Doom the Bristol. He would really love to have a refresher shot, though. Roshan may respawn in 3.
Interesting.
But do they have a...
AC.
They have no quickening charm. Unlucky. Doom really wanted that one. Okay, so Refresher's picked up. Does he have enough mana to use everything? 2 Dooms Refresher? He does, okay. Now this is the fight that LGD needs to win in order to make this comeback a real.
Viable.
Yeah. They won the fight. No, might be a fluke. Fluke fight, we all know.
Turns
Can be
into a
the case
victory
sometimes.
anyway.
Yeah. But this Timbersaw is also becoming a massive problem now because of the last fight as well. It actually feels like Ame is just a support at this point. Like most of the
In a
damage is
way,
coming
yeah.
from the Doom and the Timber. And even the Lash, to be honest.
Yeah, his lockdown has been massive.
I mean, we said they don't have a lot of stuns, but if you keep fighting in the...
Zone of the stun.
Yeah, then...
Because he gets multiple down. He'd love some sort of cooldown reduction. They've got themselves the Chaotic Offering as well as the Sun coming out from Nothing to Say. They'll use that Haunt. They'll go to the backlines. They get the kill on a Y, but he already got the Chaotic
huge
Offering
RP.
off. They've got the RP on a multiple heroes here. They'll get the kill on a Y as well as Jinkyu, but now Old 11 fighting back. They get the kill on Ami. They end up losing PYW as well as Ori. They're fighting on a stun that came out from Jinkyu. That stuns up Spectre again. They've got themselves the Doom on the Spectre.
He's burning out. He's dead.
And Nothing to Say will chase. He lands the Infernal Blade. He'll get the kill on a Poyoyo, taking out 3 on the side of ViCi, who don't have buyback. DY surviving off the Timber Chain as well as that Whirling Death. And Old 11, despite taking some names, he needs to leave, and it's an even trade in terms of heroes, but a net worth gain for LGD once again.
Yeah. Nothing to Say needs to absolutely make sure you Doom the Spectre. He actually killed 3 of the heroes just purely with Dispersion. They dealt so much damage to the Spectre that everyone around him just died. The break needs to be applied right away. We can see it here again. He was not doomed on the Spectre. That means the break is not applied. The entire team is dying to Dispersion. If you get to Doom on there right away, this fight might be a 5-0. Because there was a massive RP on 3.
Big RP coming out from Ame.
Yeah. It's very tough, though, to Doom someone when they RP. They're so close together.
You don't want to put it on the wrong target.
Certainly not. That's the thing, though, in this late game scenario now. Once Spectre respawns, Refresher as well as Doom are only on like a 40 seconds cooldown. You don't have a huge opportunity here to do anything, really. He's going into the Arcane Blink as well. Once he has that, there's going to be like 0 cooldown after he respawns.
Wow.
He's not very tanky, though. 0 armor items. If Bristol hits him, if Brute hits him, he dies very fast.
Bristle didn't even have a chance in that fight.
Nope.
They'll find why. He's dead for the 8th time.
Why?
He is currently sitting 0-8-13. He's
Typical
desperately
Warlock
looking
life.
for the Aeon disc.
Yeah, but that's the life of a Warlock, right? Roshan responds in 40 seconds, actually. LGD cannot give this one away.
No.
Especially if there's a refresher shot, you got a triple doom. You need that.
Timber going for the overwhelming blink.
Yeah, Timber just goes like pure in your face now. Because like he also recognized that they don't really have the damage to kill him anymore. Just gonna make sure to disrupt the fight as much as possible. How do you do that? 3 cores have no BKB. Blink in, slow them by 50%.
Do you know how we got Trident and it was Kaya, Sanj, Yasha?
Yeah.
You make a 11,000 gold item.
You mean all 3 big blinks?
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be 11k, it would be like 21k.
No, but yeah, but you don't have to buy the recipe for all of them, which is a lot of... You have to just buy the 3 extra, the Eagle Song, the Reaver,
Oh, like
and the Mystic
that.
Snap.
So you don't have to buy these 3 blink daggers.
Yeah, you just buy a blink, those 3 items, and a recipe.
Roshan is up, they need to fight, but it's falling fast. Come on, LGD.
It's
Might be
down
too
to
late
about
already.
half health. Can they get over there? They're going to Timber Chain in. Poyoyo coming over, and he's going to spot that it's low. They're not going to be there in time. They've got the Aegis into the hands of the Spectre. They've got a stun on 2 of these heroes, but now the Chaotic Offering is going to come down. Why? Being focused by Poyoyo, but they've got the Doom that comes out onto the Spectre, and that's only going to be the first luck. They followed it up with the RP that hits onto Old 11. That's going to be this Broodmother in some trouble. Stunned again by Jinkyu's stun. The Split Earth doing a lot of work in these fights, but they go after Amin. They're trying to get the kill. They've got the silence of the Magnus, but it's not going to be enough with the Cogs from PYW pushing him away and getting the kill. Nothing to say with the BKB and TPing out. He just gets out in time, but they've got no Ame for 83 seconds. They look over at Jinkyu. The stun's out on a 3. It's still not going to be enough damage as Faith Beyond. He'll TP away, but Jinkyu not so fortunate. A 5-0 in the favor of ViCi.
Yeah, they're just never going to win a fight against Aegis Cheese. Like, this Roshan was absolutely crucial. LGD missed the timing on that one. Big one.
That's for me.
This just cannot happen. You know Roshan is about to spawn. You need to be ready. They were not. VG punishes him for that. And there's no buyback on the Magnus now.
Yeah, he didn't hold the gold for it.
It's going to be a rough defense. Bristol now picked up the axe as well from the Roshan. No, he didn't actually. He picked it up from himself.
It was a refresher shard on the last Roche,
okay,
which is
Spectre
in the
has that
hands
one.
of Spectre.
Ah, that is nasty. If he haunts, dies, he can buy the haunt again. Why again? Caught out?
Yeah, hookshot comes in. Why in some trouble to use that haunt to get the kill on a Faith Beyond. He doesn't have
No
buyback.
buyback.
He's dead for so long. They'll take out nothing to say. He's got buyback, forced to use it. 3 heroes going to try and defend here. But they're going after the tier 4s. ViCi want to finish this right here, right now. They're immediately going to go after Y. They'll land the stun on the Old 11. They've got the Fatal Bounds on the 2, but they've already taken out one of the tier 4 towers. They'll go to the other one, and this is so much damage coming out onto these towers. The BKB gets popped by Jinkyu, but they've got the damage coming through onto this Lestrak. They'll use that Doom onto this Bristle. Hookshot onto the back lines. They fought back. They've got Magnus. Maybe they have a chance here, but they don't have an RP to work with. So 2 minutes gone for nothing to say. It's looking like it's all over, except for the throne dropping. As they're going to move in, they'll look over at Ori. He'll survive for a little bit longer. They go after Jinkyu. They'll get the kill on the little Shrek. He doesn't have buyback. 3 heroes dead, and they'll call GG. ViCi will take game number 1 over LGD, and they are now 1 game away from taking this tiebreaker.
Yeah. I mean, LGD, at the very end there, the last 2 fights before that last Roche, they did take very well. They finally understood how to use their lineup, how to fight with it properly, but way too late. It was after they lost the entire map. Broodmother dominated everything. And I still think it should have gone quite a bit differently. Like, they just made it too easy for VG, honestly.
Yeah,
They
ViCi
did not
just
use
ran
their
him out of the
spells.
map.
Yeah. Ran him out of the map. No chance whatsoever. I'm still a believer in Carry Magnus, though. Like, we've got to see it soon where a guy just goes ham and everybody will be like, That's why.
That's how you play it.
exactly.
Yeah, and that might happen in the major. Could see
Possibly.
that. But first game goes the way of ViCi. We've got the panel to break it down, so we'll throw it back over.
Black.
Panel to break it down, so we'll throw it back over to you guys. Take it away.
Black with Carry Magnus is like me with Leshrac Shard, except now I'm a believer. That thing's good. Carry Magnus, on the other hand, I think you may need to put that one back in the oven.
Cook it a little bit longer.
Yeah, it seems a little raw right now.
Also, they swapped out their lanes, right? Their hero pools. Nothing to say not playing the Magnus. I think even if you're playing carry, I think you should give that to him. And it did show. The Magnus throughout the game didn't really do any RP into skewer backs to the team. The Aghanim's first build on Doom makes the hero pretty much unplayable in the early game. I think that's a big fail. Timbersaw going for Orb of Corrosion. I just see a lot of things, like 3 heroes on PSG.LGD just do not itemize or play the game correctly early on. But ViCi Gaming, everything from them was pretty much spot on.
This game, this particular game, is the first time I have a feeling that execution from these top-tier Chinese teams is not on point, like very wonky item builds. And we can see that the players are not comfortable with the heroes that they've been given. The Doom on a mid lane, you mentioned going for the Aghanim Scepter. In the last fight, one of the last fights where he has a refresher, Doom Spectre with Aegis, which is completely fine, manages to kill her. And then refreshes, doesn't use it again, so he dies with another Doom, doesn't wait, instead decides to chase the backline, try to find, I believe it was Bristleback, maybe to break him.
Yep. This fight actually gave some hope to PSG.LGD. It looked like they can take the game, even though they were behind and playing versus Spectre with an Aegis, they win the fight. But that's also a little bit because of the sloppiness and the execution that came from ViCi Gaming. If they execute properly, they take the fight.
To go back to the itemization talk, I really love Broodmother. I've been very vocal about how I don't like this Greaves pipe type of a build on Broodmother. There's really not, if it's not needed, like why don't you just have a third scaling core instead? Because once you have that, like you're putting yourself in a spot with Greaves pipe build where you're strong at a certain point, but if the game goes after 30-minute mark, you don't scale. With I don't necessarily think it's you must have a Midas on Broodmother, but you know, getting Midas into Aghanim Scepter, being allowed to move freely around the map and
why not
being
scale,
more annoying.
right?
Yeah,
Like
but why do you put yourself in a spot where you don't play good in the late game?
You're going to own the early game no matter what, because the hero's built-in skill set allows you to dominate. So why actually double down on that if you can also invest in that early game to have a strong late game potential?
Well, I think generally the defense is that Broodmothers want to be the tankiest hero with that Pipe Greaves build, but this game she had a Bristleback on her team, and she had a Spectre on her team. She doesn't need to tank
tanky
up.
with this item build. Like Scotty, SNY, Assault Curious, good stats from Aghanim Scepter on top of it.
I guess what you're saying is she's not the hero that runs in first in the early to mid game, right?
Yeah, it's generally not her responsibility because she's off parked.
Yeah,
in
okay,
her own lane.
I agree with that. I can see that, but also this game, it felt like no matter what you itemized in, if you have a Doom with an Aghanims on the other side, I just don't understand it. I think he just doesn't play
need the Scepter though. Otherwise, why did you pick
it's
Doom?
not
Scepter is fine. It's just not like
immediately.
first item.
Later on, that's
Fair.
the problem. You just cannot play the game from. Let's say you get as Doom. One of your biggest strengths from the mid lane is that you get these small items really, really fast. In the last patch, minute 12, you could have phases, drums, blink.
And then you just bully people.
And then you just bully people on the map. If you go for an Aghanim, it's like you're losing that early game advantage completely. You aren't able to capitalize on it, and even if you doom someone, most likely you won't be able to keep up with them and finish them off. A BKB kind of a thing with phases, or blink plus phases plus some small item like drums would have been much better in my opinion.
There was also one situation where Mag uses RP on 3 people and he couldn't find Spectre or didn't feel comfortable using Doom, potentially to misclick and doom someone else.
Right.
A lot of damage coming out from Dispersion, and maybe that's again, you know, not feeling comfortable playing the hero, because I don't believe we've seen Nothing to Say play Doom so far in the second season.
And Ami Magnus, right? Did he play Magnus once?
No,
I
this
don't
is the
think
first
so.
time.
Don't believe so.
I'd rather just give the Magnus to Nothing to Say that has like 90% win rate.
We're, you know, first it was 80, then I said 85,
Now
now I say
we're-
90.
I literally never loses on Magnus.
It's gonna be if we had another week of the DPC season 2, it would be 100%.
Sure, it only goes up. That's how percentages work, right? You can come back to
The
100.
longer it goes, the longer we talk about it, the stonks rise.
My stonks are rising. An old 11 MVP for game number 1 with a very, very innovative Broodmother build. So you said the Midas wasn't critical to that, but you like the rest of it.
No, I mean, you scale, because you're a strong laner, no matter what. You have 70% lifesteal, level 1. He put the second point in it, goes to 80. You have a lot of regen from Your webs, you need a bit of a mana regen early on. That's all to keep the pressure, keep the spiders going. After that, you should go greedy. Like, get a damage item, get Orchid, get the Fuse Blade, get whatever. Just I don't think we're gonna see too much of a Brood Mother and picking up those tanky items. Mech Greaves pipe after seeing this performance. I think if people are watching this will realize, well, why not? Why should we not go greedy? We had a yesterday interview with Southeast Asian players where they said, you don't necessarily need to move with your offlaner, just stay there for a longer duration.
Just stay in the lane. Kuku
Exactly.
actually said that.
Yeah. He wants Vanguard nerfed because he doesn't like that dynamic, but you got to play to win, and right now that's exactly what's going on with ViCi Gaming. As they take game number 1, again, this is to determine who will take the group stage slot and who's going to take the wild card slot at the upcoming major, but we need to see if we can finish off the series. ViCi might take a 2-0, or we might go to a third game. Going to be a quick break, and when we return, we will continue the series. I said that last game was the beginning of the final series. This might be the beginning of the final game. ViCi Gaming are in rare form. They're ready to secure that group stage slot. Both teams are still winners. At the end of the day, you're still going to the major. And I think right now PSG.LGD probably have more points, seeing as how they got third place in the Singapore major. So they're feeling cozy right now. And ViCi Gaming probably have a little bit more to play for.
Well, it definitely does show in the games as well. It definitely did show in the last couple of series too that they played. PSG.LGD did well too, but their stability is a little bit questionable. ViCi Gaming obviously had something definitely very well prepared for this series. Like this draft, that's not something that you see very often. For those of you that are just joining the Chinese region, we don't usually see drafts as hectic as these two.
Yeah.
Not at all. We definitely got surprised, and seems like teams also got surprised. They were having fun on the camera, so let's see what they decide to ban out. This time around, PSG.LGD banning out the Brood Mother. They do not want to deal with that.
Is this Treant Flash?
I don't see the reason why not. Like I've been talking about this opener. I really love it. You have strong position 5 that builds into Holy Locket, allowing Lash to potentially like play more aggressive on the side lanes, on the mid lane, dive the tower. Let's see what they decide to go for. Here we go. One more. Yeah, that is very strong opener. Well, I think this has been one of my favorite ones in the Chinese region.
This is a pretty good one as well, but we don't really see Snapfire plus Void picked up early on.
No.
But usually you see Snap opened up and then Void is banned out in the second banning stage.
Yeah.
So they decide to, okay, we're not going to wait. We're just going to pick it straight up and maybe ban out heroes like Wraith King that are good versus Void.
Wraith King, maybe they need to ban out Shadow Demon potentially. I wouldn't mind seeing Shadow Demon just to save inside the Chronosphere. Scaling position 4. Has been on the rise, nothing too serious, but picked here and there.
Decent setup with the Leshrac as well, right, for the stun. Disruption into that. You can think about other heroes that save in that Chrono too, but Shadow Demon probably the
Some
easiest one.
Ori OD, I wouldn't mind seeing that if it's a good OD game.
What happened to Legion Commander last game? Not picked.
Ignored.
Ignored, not banned. Very interesting. We don't have Aster here, so we don't have Legion as well, I suppose. But,
Yeah.
a very strong offlaner.
Apparently they had some awards going on. I don't know if it was like at the end of the regular season, but XXS won an award, I believe, for most valuable player in China.
And he was.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that one.
You know, I gave him the trophy, actually.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah,
I was wondering what this
I
white
just-
dude was doing at
Exactly.
the Chinese award ceremony.
I just flew back last night. I quickly jumped. It's a charter jet, by the way.
Of course. You know, that DPC money. It's a
Exactly.
rolling in for you, Lizard.
Exactly, exactly.
Probably wouldn't even have enough to buy fuel.
You ran in the baggage section.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much does it actually cost, you know. Well, I'll Google it, you know.
Dude,
A private jet.
A few
It's
days
insane.
ago, yeah, it's insane. A few days ago, I was listening about it. It's some crazy amount of money.
Dude, even millionaires rent them a lot of
Yeah.
the times. They don't have their own. You got to be a billionaire status to have your own PJ. All right, bans not actually in the form of any saves. Slardar, Timbersaw, and Doom banned out. Wraith King still available. ViCi Gaming banning out some good Chrono combos. The Supernova, the Cataclysm, and I guess RP setup and Empower for the Void.
Yeah, now you know that Ame will be playing that Void. It's possible offlane, but most likely position 1.
It
Then you-
was, who was it? Sparking Arrow Gaming and eHome playing the
Yeah.
offlane Void.
It didn't look
eHome
bad.
won one
eHome won
game.
with
Yeah, they
Chalice.
did. With Chalice, you know, the good old school double slippers, 2 branches, set of tangos, offlane Void. Brings back the memories.
Was
I
he
don't know
trying
what
to
that was,
buy Poor Man's
2015?
Shield?
Yeah.
Was he trying to buy Poor Man's Shield, yeah? 2 slippers, and then he can't find the Stout Shield.
Where's the stout shield?
Where's the Stout?
Where's the side shop?
What's the side shop? Can you know what's crazy is that this upcoming TI is going to be the first TI without the side shop. TI9 had the side shop.
Can we just have a
Interesting.
moment of
Yeah,
silence
yeah.
for the side shot?
Alright. 2
RIP for
years.
the F's in chat for the side shop.
Well,
I mean,
speaking of Legion Commander, here you go.
Yeah,
Especially against Lion, against Treant Protector. The spell mechanic gonna be amazing. His shard, we were discussing about the shards. I feel like I've said at least 10 different shards that are in top 5 shards.
yeah, but this one is
This one's
definitely...
definitely top 5.
Where's Leshrac?
Top 5.
Is the merchant
Grimstroke,
happy that
top
there are
5.
no?
Grimstroke.
Is the merchant happy that there are no side shops anymore because he doesn't have any competition?
It's true. I mean,
Yeah.
there was
The
the
secret shop merchant.
there's secret shop, there's main shop, yeah, and then side shop guys where, I mean,
Well, maybe he probably owns all of them, right? Just
It's
different
one
names.
employees.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
I
to be
see.
fair, in the waning months of the side shop, it was literally just like a boot shop. And
Yeah,
that's
there was
it.
nothing in it.
There was nothing in
Yeah,
it.
they were.
They even took away
they,
bottle
they
from it.
had a huge sell-off before
Fire
closure.
sale?
Yeah, fire sale. Okay, back to the game. ViCi Gaming actually go with the life stealer into the Legion, historically, it depended on the patch, really. Like some
will-
patches, Legion crushes him. Some patches, Lifestealer is fine.
I would just prefer if that's Raid King.
Yeah, same. Just completely agree. You would have a very strong lane, but Lifestealer right now looks pretty damn good too, but not as good as Raid King versus Void.
Maybe it's like a preemptive pick if LGD wanted to pick like a Tidehunter in the off lane.
But they have Legion.
Oh yeah, they have Legion
They
already.
have
that's
Legion
true.
already.
Yeah.
Maybe they're... This Lash is mid. This Lifestealer is safe lane. Now, what offlaner can you pick that makes the Lifestealer look good?
Slardar is banned out.
Exactly.
Darkseer is still available.
This is Lina mid now for Nothing to Say versus Lash.
Mars is also available.
This lineup from PSG.LGD 4 picks
Looks
in
much
just looks so much
stronger.
better.
Yeah. I like the opening, Treant Protector and Lashrak. Then they kind of messed it up with this Lifestealer pick. If this was something else, Raid King, what could potentially been a good pick? They don't have saves. The only save is Overgrowth. Maybe if you cast it on the edge, Living Armor. I don't think that's enough considering how much damage they got inside the Chronosphere. CK banned out, a hero that has risen in popularity on the offlane. I don't think we've seen that in other regions. Maybe one in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, Southeast Asia had one, but it did not win.
I just don't want to see ViCi Gaming pick some... Oh, they actually banned out the TA. They're not debated by this Lina. They're thinking Lina might be Zinq, which is also possible. But I don't want them pick Vano. That's all I'm going to say. Vano versus Void, amazing, but later on versus
Doesn't
Legion...
feel good. The
yeah.
spell mechanic can be annoying in the lane, but if you get the most out of the lane, go back to jungle. I just don't really feel the presence.
Pretty much.
What about if you want to pick something that pressures Faceless Void a bit more? How about Nature's Prophet? And then you have another scaling core.
Okay, a core that could build into Hexon or Orchid as well, which would be decent. Not sure. I still feel like you need something to buff this Lifestealer up.
Yeah, those are the two approaches. Do you want your offlaner to deal damage, or you want your offlaner to amplify Lifestealer's damage? So I like Prophet if you want another core. If you want an enabler for Lifestealer, there's Darkseer.
Okay, Darkseer Treant lane also not that bad.
There's Doom still available.
Beastmaster that they banned out right now,
Oh, yeah,
something
Doom
that
is
would give you extra attack speed. Would be decent in the lane versus Void. Void hates all these slows, no matter where they come from.
What about some more team fight, like Tidehunter?
Tidehunter, Axe, also not banned out, right? Maybe an option.
It is mid Lina.
Mid Lina, okay.
Maximum damage inside the Chronosphere. Pick up the Clockwork instead. Now ViCi Gaming.
Give me some Axe. It's not banned. Jump on some people with the finger, with a spin, with some Manta that everyone loves to hate.
X builds into Vanguard. I would prefer maybe a Tidehunter builds a Hood. And like they have dual, they have Chrono, so not two good matchups. Either that or Nature's Prophet, but then Nature's Prophet against Clockwork. Let's see what they go.
Go with
Lycan.
Lycan. All
Wolf
right. I
bites.
mean, these two games really have proven to us that we've been watching this season for 6 weeks now, and we have
We
no
don't know
idea.
anything. We exactly
You
don't
did get
know.
the Treant Lash opening at least.
Yes! I managed to call the opening that everyone opens with, if possible.
If Nyx Assassin is banned out, like this is the opener.
Yeah.
I don't believe in Lycan this game. No saves whatsoever inside a Chrono.
They just went full SAG or Lil Gun here.
For real.
Yeah, with the offlane Lycan.
And we were just praising ViCi for all their consistency. Black, why are they doing this to us? Do they want a 3-game series also?
Why did they do it in game one? They went pretty crazy in game one too. That
But they
right?
won.
Yeah, but that means they know what they're doing.
Okay. Do you think they know what they're doing in this game number 2? Last pick Lycan?
Probably not, but I'll still go for them.
Okay.
Lycan is pretty good against Void in lane. Like you should be able to farm quite comfortably, and you can run at the Lina, I guess. Maybe.
Seems flimsy, but put a ViCi under his name anyway. Speak
Hell
up.
yeah.
What's your plan?
Yeah, I'll go ViCi.
Okay. All that consultation pays off. I'm
Yeah.
going LGD. I think that this Chrono is going to... there's nothing that ViCi can do against it.
They can, and that's where my hopes are going into PYW Lion. I think that's enough to control the Void,
Okay.
even with the Legion.
Okay, I thought they were gonna go with PSG.LGD,
ViCi here.
but you split the panel.
It's all on you now.
Yeah, I'll go with PSG.LGD. I think this is a strong lineup. Nothing against the Chronosphere. No real saves, Lina. I just love this hero in the mid-late game.
Especially with a Chrono that she can enable with. Clearly, China's just throwing a curveball. They know that the DPC's done. Everyone's watching them. They're like, let's just pick something weird. Let's pick something fun. Let's have a good game number 2 with Black and B Cup.
Ready to go? Game number 2 should be a fun one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I like the tune.
The tune in our minds, I assume, because there's no music. I think we had a good dance though.
Yeah, of course.
If you guys want to copy it
Cat jamming.
at home, yeah, pretty much just cat jamming.
Anyway, this draft looks pretty bad from VG.
But they always seem to make it work.
Yeah, that's why I also went with them. Like, I want to see what Mr. Alt 11 can make happen here with this Lycan. Like, his Brood owning game 1. I'm sure that, like, if their last bit is here like this, they must have some sort of idea.
Right.
Which I don't think is as simple as, yeah, I'm going to Wolf Bite my
30 seconds.
Lifestealer. And
I
that's
feel
it.
like it could be that. It could be that simple.
I mean, that would be pretty disappointing to me. I thought there's like a grand plan, you know?
Maybe there is. It's the bite
Hey, look,
into
look, look.
refresher.
No.
Into
He's going to go and quote me on that later if you want to. He's going to go full right click because the offlane carry meta is back, in China at least. CKs, Brood Mothers,
The battle begins.
Lycans now,
Okay.
Bristlerbacks.
What if? Now hear me out.
Hearing you out.
You go Ags refresher.
He already has Armor queued up, okay?
Not immediately, but you bite Lifestealer, and you bite Treant, who's gonna build into right click here,
Yeah.
and he'll get that extra.
Can somebody
lifesteal.
remove this person from his room, please?
You know, it'd be cool.
Clockwork is potentially gonna be in trouble here. But they scout out the Leon. What is Y doing there? He's just chilling.
Why not?
I like to chill.
How's this lane gonna go for ViCi up top? You've got Jinkyu on the Snapfire, Poyoyo on this lifesteal with DY. DY's going first level into the Nature's Grasp.
Should be pretty simple, to be honest, for Lifesteal to sustain here. Like, you shouldn't have a whole lot of problems sustaining yourself against a Legion Commander. Once your levels go higher, should be even easier. This mid lane, we have seen Lash do really well, actually, most of the time. Whereas I actually think it should be Lina favored by quite a bit. Not if you miss three creeps on the tower, though. Nothing to say. You're 12k,
Yeah.
come on, bro.
Gotta be hitting them consistently.
Gotta be hitting those creeps, man. But it's also Ori. Ori is a scary guy.
He's grown to be more consistent this season. It's something that I think early on, and even in Season 1, he found himself in a bit of a slump in terms of consistency.
Yep.
Not to say that he's a bad player by any means, but you know there were a lot of games where he felt very hit or miss. Even on heroes like TA, where you feel like he's probably one of the best TAs in the region, he was still not performing to what I would say would be Ori standards.
Yeah, Syncue potentially in trouble here. But no, didn't skill each seed. But yeah, I agree with you. Ori was always a standout player. He was a little bit quiet, but he was never bad. Lion getting cocked up.
Yeah, caught here by Y for a moment with Battery Assault going in, but he's got the heal from the Treant.
Yeah, I quite like this dual lane because the Wolves obviously also tank the Battery Assault. So no one here should ever really be in danger of dying.
Yeah. And we'll have to see as the game goes on as well how he's going to use those Wolves. Will we see him scout more? Will they have the opportunity to make jumps? Do you see someone like DY get an earlier blink for those blink overgrowths if they want to have that kind of vision? They got
Talking a little bit of trouble here.
Y getting run down, goes into the trees, time dilation, and that'll send PYW and Old 11 back.
Yep, dealing 5 damage per second. Very scary.
Radiant's courier has been
Oh, and they got the
say.
Void's Courier too. Nothing on it though.
Denied.
At least taking it out of the equation for now.
Yeah, and Clock is stealing the rune from Leshrac away. Well played. Super annoying when supports do that. Hate that. Sugar bad.
So far, 0-0, but Legion's got a good amount of CS, so does that. Nothing to say, Lina. And they've got another Earthspike Battery Assault battle of the supports going on, and that'll shortly break up.
Lina's
too crazy.
out of region now as well. Still has her bounty rune though, so should be going back to respectable levels. Oh wow, he lost both his ward and his region.
Yeah.
That's a big Korea
Something
pick off.
Desperately want.
For sure. And Lycan now has his helm picked up. His region will skyrocket to like 11 per second. So it's pretty much untouchable in this lane. And he is having 13 denies HD on this Lycan.
Are those mainly creep denies though, or wolf denies?
Probably a little bit of both.
Like, I wonder how many of those denies are really.
He's 300 ahead of the Void though, in terms of net worth. There's not an easy Void lane to farm in, because the Wolves actually do deal quite a bit of damage.
Bottom lane again, time dilation, but nothing more coming out of that. Things very quiet early on.
Yeah. Lina farming very well for herself. A little bit ahead of the Leshrac, as you would expect. But once the Lash is 6, that should also be equalizing, no problem.
So see if Nothing to Say wants to be mobile. Now having this Laguna Blade, having that burst damage, both teams having their own bit of nukes. As you know, PYW, when he hits 6, he'll have the finger too, but he's only level 2 at the moment. He's got not a lot of experience going his way, but neither does any support at the moment.
There's potentially kill top also, because Lifesteal didn't skill any points into Rage. So it's not that hard to kill him. And they did scout out the stacks with a ward. We'll see if they want to try to make any moves on that as well.
Was Faith Beyond picking up here, going to that armlet first. We haven't seen much of that from these offlane
Faith Beyond
Legions.
also going armored, okay. Both of them are.
Yeah, both offlaners going into that armlet.
I mean, the meta right now is pretty stay lane and be happy. And this helm really helps you a lot. 5 armor, 5 health region. And that's a Lash TP in.
Yeah, it's a TP into a lot of trouble. They've got the LSA, they'll use the Laguna Blade. The Airspike is gonna land on a Nothing to Say. He almost has the damage to get a kill here, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and Nothing to Say happy to pick up a regen after using all that mana.
And now they're also trying to steal the stacks away. There's a region rune on the Lina, so I should be able to do it pretty easily.
Dire have vision of this. There's just nothing they can do. They need to try and protect the rest of the stacks. Well, only one there.
Yeah, not that easy, unfortunately. Lina is quite strong.
And gets to that level 7, so now sitting a significant way ahead of this Leshrac. Fate Beyond moving forward, Fire Snap Cookie, but Poyoyo pops that Rage. Still 3 heroes here, and well, nobody to help just yet.
He doesn't have
Infest, and he's just trying to right-click for his life. PYW comes in and lands the stun on the Fate Beyond. Poyoyo 3v1, able to survive the situation, but it's good movements from LGD here that have allowed them so far to be pretty aggressive.
Yeah, very surprising they didn't skill any point into Infest. But the most notable difference here is definitely the Lash against Lina. It's a tough matchup. He died once. Lina has been free farming, found an Arcane Ring as well. Nothing to say. Set up here for a very good game.
Man, 74-9.
The things, I don't know how effective this Lycan is going to be against Lina. Because I think that's what I picked it, is to be able to run on top of him.
If he can avoid being locked down
by Chrono, or
yeah.
Clock, or
it's
Cookies, or Duel. There's lots of ways to lucky though.
That's one of the reasons why I'm thinking like Treant, do you just go straight Blink, have that overgrowth, try and give you that opportunity to Go in quick. They've got the Legion in trouble. 3 heroes here. Body blocks coming out.
Duel,
From
duel.
DY under the tower. DY. Oh, Faith Beyond gets the kill before they get him.
The tankiness to get under the tower and the level 3 moment of courage also. Bottom lane, like an old pop.
Just to leave. First hit bash.
Oh my god, he turned the armlet off.
Wait.
He turned the armlet off and died to creep. Or to time dilation, even.
Can we see that again?
Well, that is old 11 in a nutshell, man. Sometimes he's a genius, sometimes he panic presses armlet.
Thank you.
Look at the armlet. He just turns it off and dead.
Off. Dead.
I mean, that just looked
Bad.
silly.
Yeah. Up onto the high ground, into the battery assault, Laguna Blade, DY.
Alright.
Not really ready for that kind of damage.
Yeah, they're already 2k ahead here
This
on.
is complete turnaround from what we saw from ViCi in the first game.
Yeah. They probably got a little bit too cute for their own sake with that Lycan pick. For now, we don't know what he's gonna do soon. Rampage,
Dire's
maybe.
middle tower
Ooh.
is under attack.
Rampage for the Treant. I see it coming. Earth Spike, split Earth. The Earth is moving, and Yo-Yo will get that kill onto Y. Old 11, he is
He has to be
getting a
careful.
lot of harassment at the moment.
Don't turn it
That
on the
arm
off
lane,
again.
he turned it off for a second. I'm getting nervous. Gosh. Whenever I see Old 11's name, I always think of Old Chicken, where he's at right now. They used to play together.
Yeah, is he still playing?
He's not on a team at the moment.
Same.
Although, same.
Exactly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You know, I'm planning to join a team for TI Open Qualify.
Yeah, I can see it.
You know, I would have.
If there was one.
Yeah. Usually I do that all random Faceit stack. I just sign up as solo, and then we lose the first series, and I feel like I did something that day.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I mean,
under
nothing is
attack.
something too, so
Yeah.
Dire's
Yeah.
middle tower is under attack.
in that regard, you're right. Dev. Okay, Sniper sleeping out. They do have Chrono in 2 and have
Duel.
a duel also.
And the Laguna, they've
Alright.
got the kill easily out of
Bottom
Poyoyo.
tower is under attack.
And they have Chrono Snapfire kisses for bottom if they wanna.
Has fallen.
Oh, Chrono.
Oh.
It's on just the Lion.
Yeah, they tried to get the other one as well.
And then he runs into it, but they've got the Nature's Grass coming in at a Jinkyu. They're going to try and chase the
DY
guy
is dead.
and the little shred, but they'll get the kill on the DY. They'll end up taking out 2 of trade Jinkyu. It's not the best of trades because you've just lost 3 heroes around the map going after Faith. Beyond Old 11, you might want to be careful with this one.
Yeah, you're not winning that one.
Fortified. Dire's middle
Now,
tower
the real
is under
question is,
attack.
what is like the game plan here for VG? I can't really see
Radiant structures are fortified.
when
Dire's
and
middle
what the
tower
timings
has
are.
fallen.
So Lifestealer is also going to an armlet. But, like, who's gonna be your initiator? Who's gonna start the fight? Who's gonna counter-initiate? Like, the support is really poor as well.
Radiant are scanning.
And this game is looking real rough already.
3K behind.
Their team fight also is not great. They have a Legion who can save against the stuns that they have. Lina is massive. Like, super massive.
Yes,
Obese.
7K net worth at this point feels so strong.
Yeah, that's like 600 GPM. Which is pretty insane.
Wow.
And Lina plus Void, we have seen it in SEA as well. Once you get into these damage items, you deal a ton of damage. Not looking good for our VG brothers here.
Yeah.
Double smoke though by PSG.LGD. Maybe that's the losing smoke. Because it was double.
Double smoke. Now hear me out.
Hearing you.
Should just be
Wait, Lifestealer.
equal to Invis. Hook shot comes out, gets the rage off. Cogs infest and goes in the wall, thinking about going back into this fight. They've got DY coming over. He does have overgrowth, which he'll use. It only hits out of the clockwork. Fire Snap Cookie lands on it too. And now they've got the Mortimer's Kisses with the Laguna Blade coming through on a Poyoyo. The damage, is it going to be enough to get the kill here? Faith Beyond hexed up by PYW, giving an opportunity for Poyoyo to leave. Oh, just in time to save that lifestealer by a fraction of a second.
He was about to whack him with the swords.
Get the duel too.
That was really close. And they smoke right back at them. Lifestealer is really low though. He has no armlet.
This is dangerous.
All right, what's the play here? Just walk up?
Walk up. Yeah.
I mean, at least let your Lash do it. He has a Yules.
Yeah. That plan was not well thought out.
No, not at all. But neither was the LGD smoke. Like, they see the Lifestealer, and Clock was like, yeah, I'm gonna run in. Oh, I got unsmoked. Oh, he raged. Surprise.
Huh. Seems like a plan like that might have been written on a whiteboard of some sort. That's how well it did there for ViCi.
Run towards Legion Commander.
Step 1,
Hex.
run towards hero.
Press
Step
Hex
2,
on Legion Commander.
Legion leaves. Profit?
No, that's step 3. Step 1 is you have to run in. Step 2 is you have to press Hex.
And you just never get in range.
And when he leaves, then you know. Okay. Unfortunate.
Dire are scanning.
Lycan going treads, has arm with Echo Saber.
I mean, Lycan is...
Strong.
Is he? That's the question. I don't really know where to put this hero right now.
Invisibility.
Is ViCi.LGD the El Clasico of China?
Maybe IG in there somewhere?
Does it depend on the year?
Probably.
Go after DY, Fire Snap, Cookie down lands, the duel coming in, Little Shredder, and the Dragon Slave. They've got the damage to get the kill on the DY. They'll look over now at this little Shrax. They have the Laguna Blade for the burst damage once again. Mules up in the air. They're trying to get on the Fate Beyond, but they've got the Mortimer's Kisses as he comes down to Earth. The Hex, Finger, damage. Is it enough? No, it's not. Faith Beyond, he'll survive. Puyo now, he's forced to infest as they get the kill to PYW. They'll take out 3 on the side of ViCi. They'll land the LSA without the rage. He's in trouble. It's on cooldown for 8 seconds, and they'll find a 4th.
But all the 11 is there. Finally.
And is this about to be a full team wipe? It looks like it. LSA comes in, he's used that ult, now he's in the cogs, he can't even get 1 kill, and it's a full team wipe here for the side of LGD.
I think it's tip-worthy. He misses the entire team fight, everyone's dead, and he runs in all alone. This game is pretty clowny from VG here, not gonna lie.
Dire's top tower is
Like,
under
they were
attack.
so crisp in game 1. What is this transformation right now? Just everything looks kind of half-hearted, you know what I mean? Like, they're never really committing together to one thing.
Duels up into the air,
Got
maybe
the
they can
clock.
get this.
Oh, he missed the stun.
Did not line it up right. Very uncharacteristic of Ori. LSA lands, still gets the kill, but might die himself. Nothing to say, doesn't want to continue to fight into the Pulse Nova, though.
Okay, still gets that kill. That's consolation prize. But yeah, these kind of mistakes is not what we expect from them. And this is team fight. Like, where's your damage really gonna come from? It's all on the Lash. If they focus the Lash, which they did, what do you do?
This is what you do. You don't get the kill into Faith Beyond. Like in running, and running. He's trying to get into the fight. And finally,
running.
he's here. Oh, look.
I'm here, guys. Let's go.
I made it.
And then he dies, which we didn't want to show.
No.
So it's just a bit embarrassing. They didn't even use Chrono for that fight. Was Void even there? I don't think he was there, right?
I think he was.
Really?
Maybe.
Potentially.
Unneeded.
Well, now he gets an Aegis.
Blink Dagger picked up for the Lion as he looks like he might just die here. Battery Assault. Cogs pushing him back. Mortimer's Kiss is coming in, and they'll slam down onto this line.
Yeah. So still, purely standings-wise, I think it would be better for the Chinese region if LGD wins. Because they're then pretty much guaranteed for TI. Pretty much. There's a chance they're not, but pretty much.
800 out of the 801 needed.
Yeah. Whereas if VG wins, they're at 700.
And then they'll be at 800.
Who, VG?
I think if ViCi wins, they tie LGD in points.
Yeah, which is 700.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then neither of these teams is locked in for TI. which could potentially be pretty bad for the region. And pretty bad for Elephant, too.
Yule's up into the air, Beyond ready for the duel. Rage popped, and
He did so much damage.
looks like the damage might just be too much, but they've got the Earth Spike Laguna Blade that looks to get this kill, but he infests in time and avoids the Laguna Blade. So Poyoyo able to survive that. They get the Cone of Fate Beyond. The hook shot comes out on the Lycan.
There was a dead clock hook shot.
Yeah. He landed it as he died, and now they've got the Hex on and nothing to say, so this is 3 kills here for ViCi. And the Chrono, all right. Ame coming in, and they're going to get the kill on old 11. They look over at Ori. The chase is on. The Nature's Grasp is slowing enough to make sure that they don't catch Lycan for now. They just need 1 bash, but the Yule's in the run.
Nice double impale.
Well worth it as he blinks away. So he hookshotted as he died, and just the armor just kind of went flying into.
Yeah, the hook
Lycan.
reached.
Yeah.
It's like, I got that. Like one of those movies. Like
The
alien-
last ditch effort where you just duel
Duel
out
on.
on the line.
Well,
PYW did.
he got destroyed. And one of those alien movies where one guy like sacrificed himself. I got it.
Like an Independence Day.
Blah, 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 blah. It was a cute fight. Wait, what did he Laguna?
Yo. That was good. Did he?
Oh, he Laguna the
No,
life.
yeah, and then he infested.
There was a last fight. What about this one? Did he also infest dodge this one?
No, he infest dodged the last one, right?
No, not this one, right?
No, he just kind of ate it.
Well, that's what Lifesteal is really good at. Eating stuff. And now the next fight. Like, all VG can do is really fight. They catch the void. Not the target you want to find.
Hook shot comes in, and now the time walk going after PYW, but he lands the 2-man Earth Spike. They've got the Mortimer Skizzies coming down. They might be able to get the kill on a Y.
Duel on the
Meanwhile,
Lycan.
Duel onto the Lycan. Fire Step Cookie. They've got the lockdown with the LSA. They'll get the kill. They'll end up trading 2 for 1 for now. Time walk over, looking at Ori. He's trying to survive. Right clicks in. Overgrowth comes through, and Faith Beyond is dead. GQ drops 2, but they'll finally get Ori. They look over at DY and Poyoyo. LSA just off the mark. DY goes into the trees, time walk right on top,
Bash.
first hit Bash, continuing to walk through these camps, gets the Laguna, Nature's Grasp, and ends up dead.
He's so lucky with those bashes.
Illusion.
He's getting quite a bit.
All right, what's the neutral item situation here? The Imp Claw is on the Legion commander. He's like, bro, Void, you ain't getting this. Like, I'm the real carry here. So now he's stuck with a chipped vest. This initiation is pretty, like, worst case scenario for them. He has Aegis, he's a Void, he's very tanky, he has Saint Jasha, jumps into the cock, destroys the lion together with his clock, and they kind of salvage it, the Treant and Lash, but it's still not what you're looking for. Like, the Lifestealer, no, not the Lifestealer, the Void survived, and the Lina survived, the 2 big ones that really need shutting down.
But ViCi are starting to put kills on the board. They're getting something out of these fights.
Yeah.
But I say that, like you said, they didn't kill the Lina of the Void, and you look at the net worth,
They're
they're
massive.
both at 12K.
Yeah.
It's disgusting how farmed they are.
Absolutely massive. But Ame has thrown games in the past by not building BKB.
Old
And
11 going Nullifier,
yeah.
and he's almost got it. Well,
Wait, as I said, his entire objective
seconds.
this game is right-click the Lina.
right.
That's all he wants to do. Make sure he can't heal himself. Because he's going full right-click. Like, he is not very survivable. He will deal a lot of damage. Like a glass cannon. We had a nice discussion about glass cannons on the panel.
They're going to go to the ult on old 11. They'll come through. They had the Wolves spotting this in, as well as DY coming through. They'll get the kill on a Faith Beyond.
Now that's what they need. That's a good one.
Trying to use that shard with the press the attack to get out.
Yeah. And there's a counter smoke potentially from Lina and Snap.
It's a big pickoff for ViCi. All of a sudden, the net worth lead went from like 5K to 3.
Yeah. Like the supports are pretty decently farmed.
Telling you, dude, you just wolf bite DY.
It's not happening.
He starts outputting massive amounts
He's
of
gonna go
damage.
pure right click, as I said from the beginning.
Treant? Yes.
No. The other guy. So what's a glass cannon, B-Cop? We had a discussion on the panel.
Did you?
Yeah. Because if it was used in war, you don't want to have a fragile cannon.
No, you don't.
So where's the term coming
But you
from?
shoot one cannonball,
Dire's top tower is
And
under
it just
attack.
explodes.
and then the cannon breaks.
Yeah, what's the point? So where did the expression come from? That's what we were wondering.
Maybe they tried to build a glass cannon back in the day, and then it broke.
But it's like something you described that deals a lot of damage, but it's very fragile, right?
Okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
No, this is not the proper answer. I was doing some research, trying to get you the proper answer, and then all of a sudden I'm reading the first line that they're like, in the Fire Emblem series. I was like, well, that's not the origin.
Potential duel on the line. Okay.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Fake hype. Sorry. There was a really good Clockwork Rocket though. Scouting out the line, camping there. And now the gold is back to 5k again. What happened?
Illusion.
Map efficiency.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a VG right now, you're pretty damn scared. Because you know that you have a Lycan in the offlane. That doesn't really do much. And neither does Lifestealer. Like, both these heroes are kind of like the same. And they're even itemized in a pretty similar way. Both just pure right click. Now, Void is going Satanic. As I said before, Ame has had a history of not building BKB, and Legion Commander caught again.
Yeah, they've got the stun as well as the finger that comes through into the Legion Commander. They're getting the cone of Faith Beyond. Nothing to say he's going to pop that BKB with the hookshot coming through into Poyoyo, and now he's going to go into the jetpack. He'll fly above the world. The cow's gone over the moon on this one, but they've got the duel on the Lycan with the little shred of the right-click damage coming in from Ame. They'll get the kill on Old 11. They bought back on Legion for that.
Yeah. At least he gets a duel. Victory. 20 damage for a buyback.
Yeah. Is that worth it?
Probably not.
Well,
Depends, actually.
what is 20 gold worth in gold? Or 20 damage worth in gold?
Well, like 2 Blades of Alacrity, 900. His buyback is 950, so it is not worth it.
That's
Well,
your
I guess
answer.
you're missing 2 damage then, so...
Well, no, you also get gold from the kill.
True. But who got the kill?
Dire's bottom tower.
Void got the kill.
Experience.
True. But who got the experience?
He was there.
That's true.
Clockwork has that shard. He's going into the Ags.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Which he'll probably not finish. But here's the real deal. Lina with MKB finished and going into Satanic next. Like, they're all just itemizing into lifesteal and right-click damage, because if they can outstand the Lycan as well as the lifestealer, it's super easy for them to win this game. I still have yet to see the power of this Lycan. Remember, Satanic is not dispellable anymore. Once that's up, I don't think Lycan can even fight the Lina 1 vs 1. And then your counter is countered.
Is he, though?
Potentially. 400 gold until his nullifier. I just don't really see how it's going to be very impactful, this nullifier.
Would you want Ags on him next?
No.
No.
Pure right click.
You don't want to be biting the life
He needs a
stealer.
Basher and Satanic. And AC.
Hookshot comes out. Ori
And
is
Ori's dead.
very much in trouble. Might get a kill before he ends up dying, and he will. All right, get something out of it.
Yeah, not bad. I guess they underestimated the healing capabilities of a Shroud a little bit.
That Shroud doing work.
Yeah, but still, a trade you will take any day of the week. Lash for clock. It's just a 5. I'm surprised he even got 500 gold for that kill.
That was a lot of gold.
Top tower is under attack.
And they're in a Roche.
Shard, edge cheese.
And you'll probably give that to the Void. I can
Shard?
see. You can give it to a couple of these heroes, but I can see the
Snapfire already
Void
bought
getting it.
his.
Yeah.
Clock already bought his. So it's literally only the Void
The
and
Legion's already
the
bought
Lina.
his, and
Yeah.
Lina doesn't want the increased cast range, I guess.
Yeah, it's better on Void.
Psychic Headband also picked up here for
Dire's top tower is
LGD.
under
It's pretty good on Void cost. 400
Radiant's
cast
bottom
range is
tower
a big
under
deal.
attack.
It's not even about the reverse time one. Or, well,
I mean,
it's
but
there, but like the range too is quite significant.
Dire's
yeah,
structures
it's a nice
are
added benefit, and it's a 4-man smoke wraparound. Lash will be TPing into the fight.
Dire's top
They're going to get on the Faith Beyond first.
Might be the last
Smoke
fight
gets
here.
broken, Blink into the Hex, and now they're going to Ear Spike that lands on a 2, but the LSA comes in for nothing to say, and that's going to be up Poyoyo making the move forward, but he goes into the Rage. They've got the Chrono on a 2, with the Mortimer's Kisses coming down with the finger to get the kill on Faith Beyond, and they'll get him. Poyoyo doesn't even die. He'll invest in a DY, and now they'll look over. Time walk in, time walk out. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around, but now you've been hexed up, Ame, trying to make a move in. Time walk forward, looking after DY. He's still infested, doesn't have the overgrowth to work with. He'll go invis, but they've got the dust, and now Poyoyo jumps out of this. He's got the scatter blast that's going to hit into Poyoyo and stunning him up. They've got themselves the hook shot coming in. The rage is going to be enough. Damage coming out on Ori. Ooh, fire snap cookie, but that was avoided thanks to the Yules that we used onto Ame. Time dilation comes out and only hits on a Poyoyo. Ori walking away. PYW in some trouble, but the forward step onto the high ground. They get the kill on a DY as well as this Lycan of Old 11. They did get the kill there onto the Legion Commander. Poyoyo almost able to start getting something done, but it's just too much here from LGD, and they're still working with an Aegis.
He just doesn't have enough damage on either the Lycan or the Lifestealer. And that fight was won, even though Armor chronoed 2 of his teammates as well. Lina was chronoed, and Legion Commander was chronoed as well. They just don't have the damage on ViCi anymore, honestly. Like, it's all about the Lash now. Once he has his BKB, maybe he can do it, but there's so much physical damage coming out from all these cores from the LGD side here.
Right.
You get dueled, you die. You get Lina stunned, you potentially just die.
Although you were in the Chrono, Poyoyo did survive.
He did. It's just, surviving is not enough. You need to kill, too.
Blink Hex coming through onto Y. They've got the Earth Spike to follow it up. Diamolocutic with the stun. They'll get themselves another pick off. That's gold going the way of Poyoyo. They're down 11,000 gold.
Dire are scanning.
He's trying to build into that AC and Lycan. He's got AC queued up as well.
Let's hope they communicate about that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have double AC. Infest into the Lion.
They're going to wrap around. They might be able to find Jinkyu, but that's not the one that you're really looking for when you're making moves like this. They'll still get that kill regardless, and nothing to say. He'll have to back away. They'll take over the triangle. They'll start to push out top because there's still a tier 1 here.
Still have a glyph to the late, yeah. And Syncure still got the bounty rune also.
Yeah. And a regen picked up for nothing to say.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, this Lina, once the Satanic is up at 500 gold, I really do think he can just stand toe-to-toe with the Lycan. Like, no problem whatsoever. This Lycan cannot fight her anymore. And that's then the point where I just can't see VG taking any team fights unless they get a good Hex initiation on top of his Lina. But then you have Legion Commander who can save her. Itemized into a Shadow Blade on Legion Commander. Okay, okay. Looking for the best possible opportunity to jump in. Satanic now picked up. That means Overgrowth can be dispelled as well. And Void almost has a Skadi, has his own Satanic up as well. There's just too many good items on these two heroes. They didn't manage to kill them. Lina died once, Void 0 deaths. You can look at the net worth, you can see exactly why. It reflects there.
They're so far ahead. 4-man smoke coming in from LGD.
And they have Chrono as well. And Void has enough money to buy the Skadi.
Poyoyo just TPing out. So he's bought into the Hyperstone of that AC.
Who did?
Poyoyo.
Yeah.
Lycan, he's still thinking about what he wants.
He cannot go in AC as well.
Ooh, not finding the Treant. Chrono used that Son of Poyoyo. They weren't able to kill him in the last one. Now they've got the Hex coming through into PYW, so Earth Spike followed up. LSA, that's going to land. Force Staff back with the Laguna Blade hitting, and now he's going to infest into the Lion. Do they have any help coming in from DY? They'll get the kill into the Lion. They'll take up PYW on the other side of the fight. They've got themselves the duel. That's doing an old 11. They'll eat the cheese on the Legion. They'll get the kill into Jinkyu, and now they're looking to the right click damage coming out of the DY. They find this Treant, Faith Beyond on the run with an Nullifier on him. Ori trying to get that kill, but unable to find it. Now they're going to time walk forward with time dilation hitting on old 11 as well as Ori. 4 heroes start to march to the high ground, still looking to find anything they can, looking for a bash, finally finds it and takes out old 11.
It was on the back of a very optimistic Chronosphere on the Lifestealer solo, didn't get the kill, and the fight was super split, which is basically the worst case scenario for LGD.
Yep.
It is still end up like what, 3-1. Both the cores are just sitting at full health. Void sitting at 4,000 health. That's actually ridiculous.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
And Lina's at 3k herself. Yep.
Has fallen.
I think it's safe to say VG got a little bit too cute.
Throne's not down yet. Potentially, opportunity lies within the deficit that they're at.
Yeah, but, you know, with knowledge comes power. I have the power to determine who's going to win this game.
Nice play.
It's going to be LGD. How do you fight back now is the question. Because Lycan just kind of seems like a liability at this point. You picked it to counter the Lina, but Lina just hits you in your face and you have to run away.
Down 16k, I don't really see many answers.
Yeah, it's difficult because like you're supposed to be winning this mid game with this draft.
Right.
Like in late game, you get outscaled massively.
Dire's
I gotta admit,
bottom
Faith BN
tower
went
is
for a
under
little bit of a griefy item build with the Shadow Blade. Like if we just go with BKB, I don't think they can ever kill him. But you know, sometimes you have to feel yourself. It's part of life. And they're still winning. So can't really fault them too much for it. That's a smoke around, but nice.
Hookshot comes in, that's going to land on Ori. They've got the Rage pop up. Poyoyo trying to get after this Clockwork, but they've got the press the attack. That's going to give him Magic Immunity for a moment. They've got the Mortimer Skis coming in as well as the right clicks from Nothing to Say. Heals up into the air. Overgrowth comes down onto 4. Nullfire out onto the Snapfire. They're going to try and get in onto this ViCi side, and they've got the duel. They look over. Old 11 in trouble. The stun coming out from this Lion is just not enough. So Old 11 falls. They'll get the kill on the DY. They'll take out 2. Ame unstoppable, and nothing lost here except for the Clockwork that gets fingered by PYW.
Yeah, the long-range finger. They actually caught the Lina. But yes,
He's got the press the attack. He's got this Magic Immunity, but they're going to go to Fate Beyond. So now they don't have the Magic
They killed
Immunity.
Void
They don't
somehow.
have the Legion. They don't have the health, but they get the kill on Ori. Now they're going to look over at Nothing to Say. That Nullfire is going to be thrown on the lead of the 2-man stun, but the Earth Spike coming in from PYW, and Nothing to Say falls. LGD throw the advantage from that fight.
CQ also in trouble here. They don't have vision anymore, do they? But they put a sentry down. Oh, can they dewater it in the time? Nah, okay, they have spider legs anyway. There's a gem drop. How did Void die there? He was full health.
Gets ripped apart by the lockdown. I don't know how they lose all their heroes in that exchange.
I mean, they just went high ground, didn't respect the buyback. Can see it here again.
Stun hits from the Leshrac.
Yeah. How
Trying
does
to find
Void
this
die?
Earth Spike comes in again from PYW on multiple heroes, and they just rip him to shreds.
This Lina with Satanic, though, is still killing the Leshrac somehow. But yeah, it's a massive turnaround for VG. And
one that could be the start of something, but you're still down a lot. And Roche, though, it's up soon.
and 3.
If they get this Aegis,
Oh my
that's
god.
massive.
is
Clockwork,
under
No,
attack.
PYW left just before it
Scouts it.
spawned.
Radiant's middle tower
they need to check.
If they knew it's up, they would get this Aegis right now. They need to go back in there. Oh,
They're not
no.
going to. They're marching forward.
Ay, 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 ay.
And now there's another Rocket Flare to check if ViCi were doing it.
Like, this would have been the comeback avenue. Trian is walking back in.
And they're going to spot it.
But it might be a little too late now. Void is up in 3.
Void's up at 3. Lina up in 14.
I feel like this Roche would have been dead if they went there right away, yeah? They had like 25 seconds on Void at the time. Missed opportunity there.
9k. They're starting to pull their way back in.
I just can't see LGD lose any of these team fights once their abilities are used properly.
That's the key phrase, though, used properly.
I mean, Faith BN will have to be kicking himself if they lose this game, because this is more like a pop item build.
BKB next for the Legion.
Lion?
To kill Poyoyo, though, inside the Chrono.
He has the... It's a pretty deadly combination, this Bloodstone Shroud. You have so much spell lifesteal, this Leshrac could potentially be a big problem now.
So now into Roche
Yeah.
goes Ame.
VG need to fight this. They cannot kill them multiple times. No matter what they do, they need to fight this.
They're going to throw a Wolf in there. They're going to see that this is about half health, but they need to commit. The
Double
problem is
Wolf bite.
committing into the Chrono. They'll have the Wolf bite that comes out on Napoleon, but the hook shot as well as the LSA comes in. They've got the no fire as well as the Chrono. Here comes the Mortimer's Kisses coming down on Napoleon, but it's not going to be enough damage to him with the right hooks coming up from Ame. They finally do take the life stealer. He's going to buy back immediately. They'll take a PYW, so the lockdown from ViCi is gone. But it's right back into the fight as they got themselves the buybacks coming in from ViCi. They've got the Aegis on Ame, so killing off this Void twice is going to be a problem. With BKBB pop by Ori, they'll go after this Void. They've got the Hex, they've got the Finger. Can they get the first life out of his hands? LSA Infest, that's going to keep Ori alive for a moment, but the time walk over on Napoleon, it's still not enough. ViCi in trouble. JQ with a 4-man stun. That was beautiful, coming in with a scatter blast. All 11 dies. JQ's dead. Ame trying to rip him up as they get the kill on the DY. That's 2 years in without buyback. They've got the right clicks on Napoleon. Face beyond around him. They'll get the kill out of the life stealer. They should be able to take this game and even the series at 1. What a play by that Snapfire. Put everything on the line with that shard, just stuns them all.
Yeah, a quad stun from a... What scatter blast? I've not seen that before.
That's amazing.
And then a sick cookie follow-up as well. No buybacks on 2 of the cores, and it should probably be GG. Well played.
Dire's middle tower is under
Dropped the ball once, but very clean
They
game.
needed to go into that Roche earlier.
Yeah. Leshrak getting ripped to pieces, and we're just waiting for the magic letters. There they are. GG, well played.
LGD even this series, and we'll be going to a Game 3. LGD, except for maybe that one fight over bottom for the most part, looked pretty clean.
I mean, they just walked high ground without any vision. Lesh with a life steal infested was waiting there. Get the 2-man stun. Worst case scenario. But didn't seem phased at all.
No.
If that Roche, if they get in the pit right away, I think they can get their Roshan, Cheese, Aegis.
It's a
Axe,
tough ask
Scepter.
just because the Chrono's available.
Yeah,
It's a lot, Dota. You can't just give it up like that.
Yeah, it's a split-second decision kind of thing.
Yeah,
if you just
for sure.
waited 1 more second, potentially it's different. But it's not. Now it's 1-1. And final series of the season.
Goes to Game 3 again?
Going to the wire once more.
Yeah, it's always nice to see these series go to Game 3, especially between ViCi and LGD, 2 really big teams here in the Chinese region, both fan base-wise and how well they've been doing throughout the year. And to break down game number 2, we've got the panel. Take it away, guys.
Boom! Granny's got a gun in game number 2. My God, what a way to close out that fight. And PSG.LGD pushed it indeed to a game 3, which is what we'd want. The grand finale of the DPC upper division. I wouldn't want it any other way, but I'm sure ViCi Gaming would have probably wanted it another way.
Just give me that one extra game.
Sure.
After 6 weeks, after a couple of tiebreakers in the lower division, give me that one extra game, the final one, and I don't think this game can go on forever. We've been enjoying Chinese Dota, but yeah. I feel in both of these games very uncharacteristic drafts from both of the teams, besides the opener from ViCi Gaming. A lot of different stuff coming out, something that we usually don't see. Not necessarily a good lifestealer game, because you have no way to buff him up other than living armor, which he doesn't really get too much benefit from anyway. And now we have offlane Lycan, this tri-core meta kind of shifting again. You want to be greedy with your offlaner. Also not necessarily that good of a Lycan game.
Oh, 100% not. Like this Lycan, usually when there was some Pugna or Lina mid lane, historically you pick it and you run these mid laners down. But the problem is there's just too much control around the Lina. You have that Void with the Chronosphere, you have the Clockwork, and he was on point. The hooks were on point, the Chronos were on point, just containing, or the duel, to contain the Wolf, so he can't run around, nullify you, disable your Yules, and eat through you that way. Just a solid performance by PSG.LGD, but really nothing extraordinary besides that shotgun from the Snapfire. Everything else, this is the only teamfight that they really
Botched.
Botched. Everything else, if they have Chrono, they win it. If they don't, they just chill and farm, and that's it. Because you can see the reasoning for the Lycan versus the Lina. I still don't see the reasoning of the Life Stealer when you could have picked Raid King. We talked about it. Raid King, you have 2 lives, he uses Chrono, then you fight again.
Simple stuff, yeah, well, that's why most of the teams are picking it against the Faceless Void, just get that hero. Makes a lot of sense in this game. I believe this is the fight, right? This is the fight all eyes on Snapfire.
Yeah, first the Chrono.
The Chrono was good as well. They ran into it though. Like 2 heroes just run
Yeah.
into the Chrono, which is a little bit on them. But you couldn't really join the fight any other way.
Yeah, then respawn happens, buyback from the Clockwork, scramble for the Aegis, and then Ame ends up picking it up. And at this point, Ame starts going down. We're like, uh-oh, this might be another Ame game. But he backs out. LGD think to pursue. ViCi's like, we got to get out of here.
There's Jin Q.
4
slow
heroes.
down.
Not only does he hurt them, he slows them, stuns them afterwards. Just
This is why build is so popular. Instead of like every single game, let's get that Solar Crest immediately. Even in the laning stage, we've seen more of a 2-1 build.
You were going for all your top 5 shards. Where does Snapfire fall?
Yeah, it's up there, top 5 as well. So
I think we might have like 7 in your top 5 right now.
I have to go through the hero list, but we might need to expand it a bit. Definitely one of the top tier shards, no doubt about it. And we see why Snapfire is picking up the Blink Dagger just to be able to position herself in a good spot. And I think in this particular game, we can see the full potential of it.
In regards to builds, how do you feel about this Lycan Nullifier?
it's interesting, it's peculiar. It helps you gnaw down targets that you are going on, right?
I suppose, yeah.
You slow down the Lina, you're able to pick her off. The Yules isn't as good. If you want to buy a Ghost versus Lycan, it doesn't work. Usually you had Necros doing that job for you because of the Purge, right? Like you had Necros that would slow and Purge. This time around it's Nullifier. It doesn't sound amazing, but what do you build that actually has more impact? AC, he got it. It doesn't change the state of the game.
Yeah, and I guess even if he had Basher, with all the nerfs to Shapeshift, I don't even think he can chase down Lina very easily. Lina with max Fiery Soul, Lycan with
She's
Shapeshift.
speedy. Yeah, you can't exceed max movement speed anymore.
Exactly.
In Dota. Who can do it? Bloodseeker and Phantom Lancer with the Phantom Rush.
Yeah.
He has 800.
Anyone else?
I think that's
they took it off of Broodmother.
Broodmother doesn't have it.
They took it off of Windranger. So, last one standing. This game, though, it was all about Xingqiu as the MVP. That last play definitely solidified it.
The boomstick.
The boomstick.
Yeah, that one boomstick solidifies his MVP once more for PSG.LGD. And this is a player that has many of these kind of plays throughout the season. Has had many of them, really. Xingqiu, you expect brilliance from him at moments. Sometimes he's a little bit, shaky, but most of the time he performs to a level that makes a difference from that position forward.
After Season 1, my go-to hero for him was Tusk, and they haven't even been playing it that much in Season 2, even at the end of the Singapore Major. So he's very capable. Snapfire in his hands seems like the best opening. We talked about Treant Leshrac maybe being the best opening for ViCi. Seems like LGD find consistency, at least a little bit of consistency, which is what they need with the Snapfire. Now, who will be the most consistent in game number 3? Again, I will reiterate, this is important. This determines if you're group stage or your wildcards, and the wildcards are brutal at this upcoming major. You don't want to have to go up against Secret, Enigma, and IG. It's not an easy feat to get through, but you're going to have to get through one of these teams first. So, quick break, and then the final game of the DPC Upper Division Season 2. Welcome back, everybody. This is it. This is what we all been waiting for. This is one of the last steps before the international. We're finally going to be there again. It's been so long, I've almost forgotten it. It was
2 years ago.
2 years
Almost
ago.
2 years ago. Yeah. Time flies.
Shanghai. And now
Long
we're back.
time.
It has it's been a difficult year for many people, but at least Dota's remained consistent, online or otherwise.
As long as you remain positive, that's all that matters at this point. We
Oh,
have
not particularly word we're looking for in 2020, 2021, but
not,
okay.
not necessarily in that way, you know.
It's about outlooks,
Exactly.
Yeah.
not about
We've had a
results.
rough one, you know, but in 2020, a lot of online Dota. In 2021, we're back to some lands. This is also being played on a LAN right now.
It is.
You guys happy? TI is coming,
I still don't
I-
really believe it. I haven't
Yeah,
processed it yet.
right?
Part of me is like,
In
maybe
disbelief.
something can go wrong.
I know,
I
right?
hope not, but yeah, it feels like we're very close to it. Just one more major, and then we're getting into that TI qualifiers, into TI. Just good old Dota. We're back.
I'm telling you, that's the one constant. For the past decade of my life, every August.
You
has
know what
been-
you're doing, right? Every August.
Exactly. You just
know your
block
plan.
out the entire calendar. It's nothing but Dota the entire time.
I know that I get much poorer few months before the TI, and I know that the August is reserved for Dota.
Yeah,
Not
you
like-
gotta change your bills also. You gotta be all like, I need my battle pass budget this year.
Exactly.
Not quite.
Usually,
We don't know.
We don't know.
Still don't know.
The
Might
June,
happen.
July is usually just noodles, right?
Living on the bare essentials, because I need my pixels. I need my immortals. I need my draft. Enchantress, Snapfire, Respect Ban. doing
3
the
left.
First phase.
3 and left, but
3 left. Less rack left.
Lash left, but you took Nyx, so you probably won't pick it up on PSG.LGD.
True.
ViCi Gaming could pick it up. I'm
ViCi
also
could,
a big
yeah.
fan of Nyx Assassin plus Last Strike Opener.
They go with the
Pango.
We were wondering where this
What?
Musketeer is.
Fuck.
Now this
okay.
is an opening.
Yeah, you take the Pango, you protect him with the puck picks, so they can't get it.
What about Grimstroke? Is Grimstroke? Yeah, I think you take Grimstroke. Like great against
Straight up.
Puck,
Yeah.
Leash Mechanic, against Pangolier, Silence, Stun.
Yeah, you just instantly pick it, I would say even. You could go for that Prophet for Lash as well, but I think Lacoste has a point. Grimstroke instantly solves the Pango problem.
And the puck problem.
It helps with
we
the puck
see
as well.
Grim Tiny be a very, very popular combo against puck.
You just have a lot of options on that mid lane or off lane after you pick up the Grim. Next can
If
be a 5.
you're planning to pick Grim, like you need to do it right now because most likely it's just gonna be banned out.
They go with the Timber instead.
Doesn't necessarily strike me as a good Timber Saw game. Like Pango, Puck, magical damage, some physical from Pango, but they don't counter the Timber Saw. Every single time I see Timber, I feel Ursa needs to go.
Usually Timber does go in the second stage, and maybe that's one of the reasons. If you really want to play it, you have to pick it right away.
Do you really want to play it this game, though? There's already like a leash mechanic, a fair amount of magic
But
damage.
they obviously want to. They picked it, right?
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that,
Like,
Blizzard.
You have to.
They did pick
You
it.
really have to think deep here. If you pick something, usually that means that you want to play it.
Well, that's not always true. Sometimes we see denial picks where they're like, I don't want you to pick it, so we're going to pick it instead. Which may have been the case with that Spectre that we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, I don't think that translates here. Maybe no one wanted to pick it, but they're like, yeah, it's Timber. It's too strong. Let's get it.
I never doubt the neck god. Morphling banned out, Faceless Void banned out, PSG.LGD banned out Templar Assassin, and Spectre.
A lot of carry bans coming out in the second stage as per usual. Just no one wants to play against certain heroes, so this means with the TA ban that most likely it's going to be Puck
Puck
on the
mid,
mid
yeah.
lane. They're protecting their Timbersaw with the AA ban.
In the last patch, they played Puck on position 5, on 4, on mid. I think this should be a mid lane Puck. Still flexible, but most likely nothing to say. Will be the one playing this hero. If you want to protect him even further, you could go for a Dragonite ban. you're putting yourself in a position in which you have these two bulky boys, Timber, DK, but do you care? We've seen bulky
that
boys
seems to be a
win.
popular strategy, honestly.
Exactly. Raid King banned out.
didn't
Actually,
ban
yeah,
Ursa,
they didn't ban
okay.
it. You mentioned it. They banned out the AA over the Ursa.
This has been a very weird series for drafts. I don't know if we're just dumb or like, because everything you guys say makes sense, and then they just don't do it. Like the Wraith King in the last game, they didn't pick Viper in the first game when there was Bristleback on Spectre on
They've
the enemy
been
team.
very consistent throughout the second season with their picks. Like, you know what they're going to go for. You can see the patterns, the hero pairing, certain counters, what they think is strong. And this time around, at least in this series, doesn't make sense. A lot of things don't make sense, but both of the teams are playing with it. Maybe they just screamed each other quite a lot.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're right when you say that we're dumb.
Yeah, maybe.
Also
This
true.
is the most possible outcome
That's
of what's happening
the
here.
most probable.
Grimstroke, yeah. Get the Grimstroke. I don't mind some Grimstroke. It's not a Grimstroke, it's a lion. So.
It's it looks similar, and when it comes to dealing with Puck, it does better. But when it comes to dealing with the Pangolier, he doesn't do nearly as much. So you're shutting down the Puck a bit better, but
Okay,
go with
more
Warlock.
sustain against Timbersaw in the lane. So this means that this Pangolier is not, we don't know what it is actually. Might be 4, might be off lane. Right now they don't have anything, no like BKB piercing ability, nothing that can stop Pangolier from rolling. So it always feels like a good Pango game.
in the first season, Fate Beyond played Pango, but not as much as someone like, let's say, Old 11.
11,
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
He was on point with that hero.
Faith Beyond only played it once in this series. I mean, in this upper division, but it was against ViCi.
That was probably to just snatch it away from Old 11.
Yeah, it's true.
As well. It's not just, it just isn't the hero that they love to pick that often, and they first phase the tier, so they're definitely switching things around a little bit, maybe setting up some traps for each other, as the teams know each other really well.
Now that Ursa is picked, like Dragon Knight, I don't think it's an option anymore. They could go for it. Maybe I would prefer something like a Razor. I think Razor overall just strong laner. Could be safe lane, could be mid lane.
Or they could pick a Spirit for Ori. Haven't seen many of those.
That Prophet.
That Prophet Spirit, here we go.
That's what I like.
It's a Spirit Siphon.
There we go.
You've got it. You nailed it. It is a hero that in the first season would do pretty well against the Puck. Even though Puck was buffed out of his mind, so was that Prophet. He would usually win the lane.
Pucks are going greedy lately. Pucks, they do not want to get the
Nope.
Yol Scepter. No
Seeing
Dispel
Witch
mechanic,
Blades.
Witchblade most of the time. So, yeah, AoE Silence against Ursa, against Puck could be a bit troublesome for them. They ban out Drow Ranger, great ban there. Ursa does not like to play into it, even though it might seem like he wants to. It's just a slow mechanic, the Pike Builder, another way of silence.
Can't play against it, really. It's a very difficult matchup. Now, for ViCi Gaming, they ban out the Shadow Demon. Maybe another position 4 here, as Pango most likely will be played on the offlane. What could you get?
A Xingqiu hero.
Jinkyu Tusk
I'm
or
telling
Dark
you,
Willow.
Where has it been?
Dark Willow or Tusk. Tusk is a good save, if possibly. You know, even though they have like Warlock to counter initiate. What happened to Dark Willow? Dark Willow seems good. There's a lot of
A lot of AoE
stuns.
damage,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Maybe
Right,
maybe
yeah.
not the best one. I'm just thinking about the lane.
He played a fair amount of Disruptor. If you think that could fit in for LGD.
Yeah, it's possible. We're not sure if this will be position 4 or 5 Nyx. Can be a 4 as well. Timber doesn't need a lot of help there. They ban out the Doom. Okay, they're not sure as well. Banning out one hero that's
Banning out
offlane.
Luna.
Luna?
Have they not be watching
Please, I
professional
want
Dota?
them to pick Luna. That means that you lose when you pick
We
Luna.
win. Just let the other teams pick it.
What do you have here? You have some Trolls, some PL.
Troll seems okay.
They go with the PA instead. Okay, you did have the PA option too. A hero that can jump on top of the Warlock, eliminate him early on. It looks like a decent PA game, but versus a Puck, versus a Pango, there's Disarm, there's a Catch.
Yeah,
that's
and there's
reliable.
no like enable. There's no empower from a Magnus. There's no corrosive
for-
haze from a
You see,
Slardar.
For Pango,
when you
in
pick
the end.
Pango, you protect him by last picking Bloodseeker so that no one can get it in the next game. Even.
Yeah, they protected him well. Puck, Bloodseeker pick, it's all about protecting that position for Pango. Very much needed in this
Bro,
game.
what is with this series, man?
This series has really been different from what we've seen in the region before.
I honestly think that they think that they're the last series, and so everyone's watching this last series. They're like, let's just pick random stuff. So everyone's like, whoa, this Chinese meta is crazy. Okay, well, yet again, I need more brain power. Beak up in black. Please help me make heads or tails out of this. Yeah. Get the aura going. Massage those mind waves.
Is it coming to B Cop?
What are you extracting?
No, not even the slightest.
Oh, jeez.
His brain doesn't work.
All
Are
that
the
work for
spirits
nothing.
talking to you, maybe?
They used to. They got embarrassed at how wrong they were, so they don't talk to me anymore.
That's right. I remember
we had
your
a big falling
divination
out.
days.
Wait.
So,
LGD.
what should I say? LGD.
Ah.
That was
What
a,
a
totally
novel-
original thought.
Novel idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
He's going to go ViCi now.
If you go ViCi, guys. I'm walking
No,
off
no,
set
it's
right
LGD.
now.
It was LGD.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was LGD. I
Okay.
like the team fight quite a lot. They got a good answer to PA with the puck coil with Aghanims eventually.
Eventually.
I'll go
Bloodseeker.
ViCi just
Eventually.
because I think ViCi is more consistent. Their drafts are both weird, though.
I'm feeling PSG.LGD in this one. You know, this Bloodseeker against PA, against the Timber Saw, pure damage, the silence AoE, so much team fight coming out from the Warlock. No real answer for the Pango. He gets that roll going, can't stop him. I'm down.
I'll finish in my style. I really like PSG.LGD's draft, but ViCi Gaming are more stable.
That's what I like to hear. A split panel for the final game. Upper Division Season 2, DPC, Beak Up in Black. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. I appreciate it. One last time, getting it thrown over to us.
This is it, B-Cup.
This is the last dance.
Last game, last series,
And we got one extra.
last day of our lives. Okay, not quite that bad, but let's not go there.
I
Whoa.
wouldn't go that far.
Whoa.
But we get to see some, you know, standard picks, it feels like, throughout this draft,
So
considering what we've had in the recent games.
I don't know, like, both of them just don't want to pick up the most obvious answers. Like, they want to make it spicy.
I really think if LGD wanted to make it spicy, they should have picked up Jinkyu Techies. We didn't see it once this entire year.
Very disappointing, right?
It's the most disappointing. He was playing that hero like a champ.
Imagine what he can do on the techies after seeing what he can do on the Snapfire.
Yeah. I mean, not only that, like, it's always impressive how much he farms on techies. But maybe that has something to do with the way they're drafting, and they don't want to give up too much farm to a techies, because he would be like first in the net worth. It's kind of crazy how he would accomplish that.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some techies, it was like day and night. There's some really good ones.
And then
some
there's some
really bad ones. There's nothing in between. Either really good or really bad.
Unfortunately. Ori, this time, though, on the Death Prophet, nothing to say on one of his better heroes, the Puck.
Yeah, a lot of counters against him, though. A Silence, Next Assassin, Lion. Can't get any worse. Maybe if they had a Void on top of that as well or something like that. But it's not an easy Puck game at all. Top lane, I think, should be really easy for Ursa, though. Like, he got the Warlock heal. Should be no problem for him to sustain himself. And Bloodseeker against PA is not easy. I mean, against all three cores, really. It's very good against Timber, DP, and PA.
So his win rate on Puck is only 57%, but it's his most played professional
I mean,
hero.
only. 57 is pretty good.
It's not as high as, say, his Magnus at 83%, or as the panel likes to call it, 100%. And he's got like Tiny and TA that are in the 70s. His Tinker's even 64%. When are we going to see
where's
that,
that?
hero again?
Yeah. Tech is Tinker. Both.
Yeah?
It's never go high ground.
No, that's the let's never go high ground game. Force him to call GG from
Yeah.
outside the base.
Make the game fun only for us.
So right now, we'll see how slow things start. Things started a little bit slow in that second game, but then they really ramped up.
For sure. But it was also a little bit draft-based, though. Like this game, both teams have really good, just an overall draft. Like it's very hard to give a definite advantage to any of these drafts. It really just depends on how the team fight starts. And that's really how a game between these two teams should end. Or a series, rather. Super even draft, see who outplays who. And the winner goes to the group stage, right?
Winner goes to the group stage, loser goes to the wild card, joining IG there.
Yeah, IG, Enigma, Secret.
Yeah. Which is very big considering the fact that if LGD win this, they'll have 800 points. They should be secured a spot, theoretically. And if ViCi win, you know, at least they get to avoid Secret potentially and have a chance to, you know, get more points, lock it in.
Yeah, it sounds very scary, potentially. The fact that you have to go up against so many powerhouse teams from all the other regions. I mean, even TNC, before this whole COVID started, they won a LAN tournament.
Yeah.
Like a major. So, it's going to be tough to call. You definitely don't want to be there if you can avoid it, though.
Having the hardest road ahead of you for sure. It's completely different to the wild card we saw in the first major too. Like good team wise, I would say this wild card is setting up to be much harder.
It's super stacked. I'm sure Elephant is hoping for their Chinese brethren to be doing very well, so their qualifiers get easier.
Right. And so they can probably be the favorite in qualifiers.
Yeah. Which is still a weird thought.
Yeah.
We thought they were the favorites in Season 1, and then RTK, Season 2 as well.
And they just kind of underperformed the entire time.
They really did. A lot of disappointed people out there.
Oh yeah, well, when you've got big names like that, you've got fans who've been following players like FY for so long.
Yeah.
And you're expecting more from them.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But Dota is just a game like that, though. It's very difficult to master. Well, you can't master it. And there's so many things now that are important other than individual skill.
Things just 4.5 minutes in seem a little bit quiet. They go after Ame for a second. It's got some help here from Y, so not in too much danger at the moment. PYW on this 4-position Nyx Assassin. You know, sometimes we see 5-position Nyx Assassins go like boots into the straight ags. Right clicks coming through for Yo-Yo, and the Stifling Dagger will get the kill on Jinkyu, no disarm.
0 disarms and so many hits. Now they're going into the Bloodseeker. He has very high armor though, so he should be fine. Poyo.
Silence.
Poyo. This bot lane is actually going a lot better for them than I thought it would. This PA is completely free farming. He's back to full health.
Radiant structures
And Exorcism Pop.
Exorcism Pop chasing out, nothing to say. Looking at this tier 1 tower, maybe trying to take a mid. From what we've seen at other times with these heroes, as DY dies to Jinkyu, with Death Prophet in particular, we've sometimes seen that first Exorcism off a TP to a side lane. I'm a little surprised that it just gets used here mid like this.
I mean, it will deal about half damage to the tower. It's not terrible, but it doesn't result in any kill or any
objective of any kind.
Objective, yeah. It's like half HP on the tower. Decent, but usually we're looking for that bigger impact on it, right?
We saw Timber kind of struggling a little bit. Faith Beyond level 5.
Yeah, but I'm a bit scared here for this Bloodseeker. If Bloodseeker loses lane, he can become a non-factor real quick. And it's not a lane he should be losing, I think. Because Bloodseeker is usually picked as a counter to PA lanes, because you have so high armor. But they're not pressuring his PA at all. He's 1,000 net worth ahead of the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, Phantom Assassin doing a really good job so far.
Yeah, this is scary. Scary thought. Because PA is also the guy that counters the Ursa until he gets his MKB.
How are they going to catch this Phantom Assassin?
They need to coil him. Or Rupture.
But yeah, those are your two options, but you don't...
Which is not easy.
Yeah, you don't have much here in terms of lockdown for LGD.
For sure. Especially with this start that this PA is having, it's going to be a very tough ask to lock her down. Also curious to see what item build he goes for. Does he go for the fast Deso plus Orb of Corrosion combination, or is he going into the Battle Fury kind of build?
Certainly been more of a fan of avoiding the Battle Fury for a lot of these safe laners that we've seen who used to be Battle Fury builders.
100%. Now Pango's taking over the mid lane, and Puck is on the move top.
And nothing to say coming over, and they're going to use that Dream Coil out onto the Timber. He's under the tower and in some trouble. The Earth Spike comes in and lands under the Ursa, but they get the kill on Old 11. They've got themselves the Fatal Bonds out of PYW as well as that Lion of DY.
Lion has no
attention
brood.
on the Lion, and he's very slow. Urshot comes in, and the Illusory Orb jaunt from Nothing to Say, which will allow him to get a double kill.
Dire's top
Yep.
tower is under attack.
I mean, in the same way where PA is really scary when you have a free game, this Puck is having a really good game as well. And we have seen how many Pucks can just absolutely take over the game.
Keeping up with the Phantom Assassin, considering that they're both having good games. And Puck, who do you expect more from? I would say the Puck, right? The earlier at least.
Hell yeah, 100%. Exorcism popped again to now hopefully down to the mid tower. There's not too much I can do about this one, I think.
Dire's middle tower is
But yeah,
under
it will be
attack.
all on the Puck in this early game. Like, he will have to do all the rotations. Rapture actually on the DP is very low.
Dire's middle
Yeah, very
tower
low, sitting in the
Orb.
blood right. Illusory Orb coming in, though. Jaunt, they use the Waning Rift. They'll get the kill onto Ori. They do take that tower over mid.
Very
Leaves
cocky.
Ame by himself for a second, but he wants to go on Old 11.
Timber Chain, just getting away from this bear.
He has Life Leech and still has Enrage as well.
One crit.
Going Sanjin Yasha.
You need it against the Rapture, but usually you want to have one fighting item at least. Fabian in trouble here. One more
Got the
crit.
stun from DY, blood
Nope.
right down. That'll silence. They had a double damage on DY. Just don't have the damage to kill this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, very surprising to see St. Joshua queued up here. It's usually either Deso or Battle Fury. And then into the St. Joshua after that.
Right. So we'll see if he can commit, if he wants to commit to that.
St. Joshua first, I'm just like, you're not really an assassin, not a coil.
Yeah, another coil here onto the Timber. They'll bring Ame over. He'll snap the coil, right clicks in with the Waning Rift and the Illusory Orb. They get the kill with PYW, Ori, and Poyoyo coming in to try and kill off Ame, but they miss the stun. He turns Spike Carapace, right clicks in. Eventually he'll be focused down, and that's the kill for Ori. Hex onto the Pango, trying to survive, but DY run down by Jinkyu, getting some help there from the Pangolier, and Faith Beyond's lane opens thanks to the fact that Poyoyo has rotated out.
Yeah, which means now he can finally recover a little bit. The Ursa Death is acceptable because there were a lot of rotations from both the PA as well as the DP.
Opens up space for your Bloodseeker. You do get a
Radiant's
kill there
bottom
onto the
tower
Timber.
is under attack.
Yeah.
Dire's
And
top tower
again, like,
is under attack.
the draft of LGD is really greedy when it comes to supports.
Right.
Pango, Warlock, they're pretty weak until level 6, but once they both hit 6, it's going to be super hard to fight for
Rupture onto
Radiant.
Poyoyo. Blood right down, trying to run out of it, continuing to run.
There's no TP.
Blur right clicks in the kill. So
Yep.
Phantom Assassin ends up dead easily. Ursa, who had just died top, comes back and gets one.
That's the counter. You rapture him, he can't do
Radiant's
anything.
bottom
You don't have
tower
TP ready,
is
you're
under
dead.
attack.
And even if you have TP ready, you're probably going to be dead soon because he's going for this Athos build.
Yeah.
Warlock, hit 6. Pango also just hit 6.
So big team fight coming in for LGD.
Yeah. The team fight is massive. You have Coil, Pango Roll, Rapture, Warlock Golem. It's going to be so hard for ViCi to fight into this. Even if they just Rapture the DP, drop everything on top of her, she's dead. And she's the most amount of damage of the lineup right now.
Committing for the Yasha.
Yeah, we'll see if it works out for him. It's just... It doesn't really present you a winning condition in either way. Like, it doesn't accelerate your farm by a ton. And at the same time, it also doesn't allow you to kill anyone really fast. It's like an in-between item, which is usually why it's reserved for the second item.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Ame already
under the
spotted the
tower.
mix. Yep.
Ooh. Oh.
Playing some rock.
I wanna rock. Boom. Just throw the chaotic offering down. This is leaving Old 11 to farm up some. He had a tough lane. We'll catch up to this Death Prophet for the moment, but you still have nothing to say accelerating on this puck at the moment. Going into the Blink Dagger, has the Veil with boots, 1,600 gold saved up, stands top of the net worth. It was close with the Death Prophet and the PA, but starting to pull away a little bit. Rupture used by this Bloodseeker. It's onto the Death Prophet, but no follow-up.
Yeah, you need a puck coil to make anything happen, and they smoke up after using the Rupture, okay? It's the Warlock and puck together. If they find this Timber, I don't think they have enough damage without the Ursa. And he's the only one there.
Jinkyu's there as well. They'll have the Rolling Thunder. Man, he's already level 8.
He's too tanky, and I can't kill him without the Ursa, who's now rotating over.
Yeah, so now that Timber's left the lane, they could just take the tower.
Radiant's
Are they going to
middle
use
tower
Exorcism
is
top
under
to get a
attack.
tower? They don't.
Dire are scanning.
Okay, just going to try to look to right click it down.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Cliff used there
Dire's
by
top tower
the
is
Dire
under attack.
and the Radiant. Okay.
Yeah, they're both pretty much just waiting for the
Radiant
items.
towers,
Is
yeah.
under attack.
Yeah, Puck Blink up in 40.
Radiant are
Ursa,
scanning.
Diffu up in 400.
He's going to get some gold here from the tower. He'll clean up this creep wave,
Dire's
do his
top
thing.
tower has
They'll have
fallen.
Blink, they'll have Diffusal. They're still working with the Chaotic Offering, Dream Coil, everything up for LGD. It wouldn't surprise me if this is a moment in which they really want to put their foot on the gas and go.
Yeah, they want to wait for that Diffuser Blade, I'd imagine.
Rupture used up PYW, trying to go into the TP out. They'll force the Dream Coil to be used on this Nyx Assassin. Despite Fingers, Silence, and the damage on the DY. So he throws a finger, he doesn't get anything from it. Bull support style on the side of ViCi.LGD. They also leave Ame bottom to continue to farm as he's got this Diffusal flying out, going into the BKB next.
They wasn't even close to killing the Bloodseeker at all.
No.
Whatever math he did was definitely not the correct math. And DY has been struggling this game quite a bit. He's 0-4-1, hasn't really found much of anything. He's usually one of the most stable support players in the China region.
And he's been for a long time. I think a lot of people look at this ViCi support duo and definitely look at it in a way that it feels like one of the best, if not the best, for many fans out there.
Yeah, ViCi has always been like that for VG. Even with Henry FY,
Yeah.
widely considered the best of the best.
But if you look at all the support duos throughout the upper division, like there's a lot that really do stand out. Even LGD, Jinq and Y, they play a little bit of a different style than PYW and DY. You've also got Borax and Lanham, who have obviously showed up big time. They've got the Disarm, DY on the run. Bloodright gets the kill. Faith Beyond gets credit for that one.
There's the Roche. DP is not level 12 yet, so her exorcism isn't nearly as strong. Oh, they have to be a bit careful though, if they get spammed down too much. Ursa can solve this. He will be healing up a lot.
Yeah, they're going to leave him in the pit by himself, but Nyx Assassin comes
just
through. They
runs
got
in?
the Chaotic Offering, and now the Chakram flies through. Golem, that'll be taken care of immediately, but they get the kill on PYW, so they end up getting one. He'll be dead for 25, Old 11 showing himself forward. Nothing to say, still working with that Dream Coil. Right clicks in, Stifling Dagger, soloing up Ame. They've got the Silence, Rolling Thunder with their Dream Coil, only onto the Death Prophet, who will snap the coil. They've got the Fatal Bonds. They'll get a quick kill onto Ori, looking over at DY once again. They get the kill on the Lion. They've taken out 3. They're back in a Roche, and things are problematic for ViCi. And it looks like they'll just give this one up after taking a couple casualties.
Yeah, sick play by Xingqiu there. Keeping the DP permanently stunned with the Rolling Thunder. Not managed to Yule himself. Maybe if he can Yule himself, he will be able to kill the Ursa, but Xingqiu just made sure that will never happen. Actually, such a god. I mean, both of them really, PYW, Xingqiu.
Yeah.
DYY also, like, so many supports in China are just insane.
It seems like we always talk about the depth of this region, but it goes as far as to like, they've got guys who you could consider top 5 of the world in every position.
Yeah.
On multiple teams.
China has always been a very, very competitive region. I know, obviously, the better the region is, the better the players get.
Yeah.
Because you get challenged more.
Get yourself challenged more, potentially, growing from the experience you get. And you see that a lot with the leagues that are developed in China with DPL, H Cup, Perfect World League, I-League.
I mean, they have in-house leagues themselves also. Instead of playing pubs, they play these competitive in-house leagues. Ursa?
Stun comes out onto the Ursa, and they've got the damage in to take out the first life.
It was close.
They're going to rotate in. They've got themselves a Dream Coil as well as the Rupture. Everything but the Chaotic Offering is available for them, and Ame wants to run and go after
the
these
DP.
heroes. Death Prophet slowed up for the moment. They've got the Pride of Atos coming in from Faith Beyond the 2-man Dream Coil through. Right now, nothing to say. He's got some lockdown for this team. The Rolling Thunder comes out, and it's going to snap the coil just on the edge of it with the Rolling Thunder. They'll go after Ori. They'll get the kill. The finger throw from DY, and again, it's just not doing enough damage. They look over as they try to finish off this Timber. The right-click damage is not enough, but they get the kill onto the Lion while they're looking. And Illusory Orb finding PYW. He'll try to TP, but they've got the Rod of Atos, and they'll have the right-click damage to finish off this Nyx Assassin. 3 kills for none. Justin Aegis and LGD continue to roll through.
Yeah, just as we were praising them, of course, the support duo of VG is getting absolutely shut down. 0-3-1, 0-7-1.
0-10-2.
To be fair, they have a scoreline of 216 right now, so at least they're involved in everything, but this game is looking like an absolute massacre. I'm surprised they're only 3k gold down, to be honest.
Yeah, it feels a lot more of a split than that, but you are getting a lot of space for Poyoyo. I don't think he's really been involved in a lot at the moment. He's going Sanjin Yasha BKB.
But
We're not
that's the
seeing
problem.
the Deso. We're not seeing anything that really makes me think that he's going to be anything to really be worried about.
Yeah, I mean, he's been farming away the entire time. If you want to do that, build a Battle Fury. If you want to join fights properly, build a Desolator. Like, don't do this in-between thing. He's going Sange, Yasha into BKB. Still, where's your damage going to come from? Are you all inning on a DP? You have 0 saves for the DP.
Old 11 in trouble. Rolling Thunder coming in again. They've got the Diffusal to slow him up. Rolling Thunder bounces once more. Why? Just right in his face, and with the Rolling Thunder bouncing on him multiple times in just a matter of a couple of seconds, it's Ame who gets credit with the kill.
Yeah. Next Assassin.
Val, Illusory Orb.
Are they going to expend the coil?
Oh, they're thinking about dropping down the Chaotic Offering, or if he still just wants to rock.
Surprised they didn't just call that.
No.
Cooldown is very low. Might as well just get the kill. But yeah, for me, the big question mark in this VG lineup has always been Poyoyo. He's the most unstable, I'd say. He probably needs like another half year or year until he really becomes this like S-tier player. And that's when VG will start like dominating super hard.
Yeah. And I wonder what the mindset was, because coming into this team, you weren't, I don't know if you were entirely sure if you were going to be able to stay and hold that spot with the mindset that 23 was supposed to come in and play for ViCi, right?
Yeah.
But he plays a couple Dota Pit events. He starts winning with ViCi. I believe they won one of them, maybe even 2 of the 4 Dota Pits that happened in the offseason before the DPC. He's coming in from a team like Keen Gaming Luminous, which didn't exactly have tier 1 competitiveness all over them. And now he's still trying to play with ViCi, who's been top tier the entire time he's been with them. So PYW goes down to Faith Beyond. You've got nothing to say, caught by Yules and her Spike. The Dream Coil thrown onto the Lion. They've got the Veil, Illusory Orb with the Waning Rift. Yeah, it's there. They've got themselves the Rod of Atos, and they'll get the kill.
Yeah, it's just really simple right now, the way LGD makes his game look. The Heavenly Voice spoke to you. Did you listen to it?
Yeah, it came from my left ear. I was a little surprised.
Yeah, it usually comes from the right.
Yeah.
Same for me in the shower.
If you turn around, does it come on the right ear?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as we're on the same page.
That's usually my move. Just to make sure that I'm not crazy, you know?
So looking with that Vendetta to go into nothing to say, but that's not going to work any favors just yet.
But PA is closing in on her BKB. Ursa getting stunned up.
Stunned for a second. Rod of Atos comes in again. They've got the Swashbuckle.
It's not a fight. You have to be careful. They have Rock. They have Roll. This is so scary to fight into. Like, can you, even when you have BKB on PA, can you confidently fight? I'd say no, because you're still gonna get Raptured. You still can't jump around like you want to.
Yeah.
Like, half your BKB duration, if not the full, you're gonna be sitting there waiting for the Rapture to end. And then you basically invested into a BKB that
does nothing.
Does nothing, exactly. Like, he's building all in basically just to live. He's building the Saint Joshua, so the Rapture gets dispelled faster, or runs out faster. Just doesn't deal any damage still. Oh, PYW.
Pulling forward Spike Carapace.
What, that mana
draining
burn
some of
a lot
that
though.
mana. Going Thunder, which will put him in the blood right for Faith Beyond to get another kill, and now he's unstoppable.
Yep, good night, PYW.
Really just trying to farm anywhere he can. They've got the Rod of Atos, the silence again, with the Yules up into the air. They have the control, and they should be able to get the kill out of this Timber. Fatal Bonds once more. 4 heroes around him. It feels like there's no way he gets out of this one. Blood right down, I say that, and there's the Blood right just on the edge, finishing him off to put Faith Beyond at Wicked sick.
I mean, they kind of did that to themselves. They banned AA instead of Ursa. And they must have expected LGD to pick a hero like Ursa, because Timber never in the game feels comfortable against Ursa. Like, sometimes you're this raid boss, against Ursa you're never this raid boss.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
DP?
Ooh, Faith Beyond, he goes down, and now they're going to try and turn it. Oh, we might get the score. We've gotten the score, and now they're going to go after Ori. They've got this Death Prophet in a bad situation with the
And the
exorcism
score's gone.
going, and the score is gone.
Nice score, bro. Roshan may respawn in 40. See if we got a fast respawn. It's going to be the second one. A very important one here.
Shard would be big for Ursa.
You can make a case also for the Pangolier, even the Warlock potentially.
Yeah.
Lots of
AoE
good shards.
Shadow Word.
But who is the least willing to invest into it? Whoa, he
Finding
gets blown up.
GQ. Poyoyo doing some damage.
Yep. Even though he already had a plate mail. All right. Didn't.
So let's see what's next. Deso. Now Deso.
Yeah. He needs damage for sure.
Radiant's middle tower.
Deso into Basha probably. Does Ursa build into MKB yet? He hasn't.
But is the Deso too late?
I mean, the goal difference is only 5k despite the score, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, Poyoyo's kept up, despite the fact that he's strictly farming.
Yeah, they can still win this game for sure. DP is very close to her BKB.
Dire's bottom tower
And there's
is
no
under attack.
sort of Basher or Aghanim Scepter on the puck. He built into Aeon Disc Dagon. Like I spoke in the pre-game how I think Aghanim and puck is really important in this game. But he did forego it all the way. Not building into it at all.
At least for now. Sometimes you see these pucks go like level 2, level 3 with Dagon, and then go into something else, and then finish off the Dagon later.
Yeah, I just feel like with an Ursa in a team, that's all you need, control. Ursa deals all the damage in the world you need. You have Warlock on top. You have Bloodseeker on top of that. You don't need to deal more damage on the puck, I feel like. See if it comes back to bite them in the after.
Oh, DY.
DY again, Rod of Atos, Blood right. Her spike
Oh, he has go for
missing.
dagger and one. Nice, he bought it.
He gets it before he dies, but that is another death here for the Lion, now sitting at 0-10-2.
I wonder if ViCi knows how close this game actually is, because the score doesn't display that at all.
Well, their supports are 15 to the 24 deaths. That's
Yeah.
not...
It's not terrible.
Yeah. Poyoyo's only died once, so as a PA, I think you've always got that mindset of, hey, if, you know, RNGesus is on my side, I can win this game for us.
This is Exorcism and BKB on DP.
Points that are coming through, and that's onto the Timber. Saw them throw the Cyclone Dagger. Now they'll focus their attention onto the Death Prophet. They've got the Rupture out with the Lotus Orb. They're trying to still get this kill into the Timber Saw. They've got the Dream Coil down with the Silence coming out of the 2 of these heroes. Can they even go for this? It's Timber on his death timer of 50 seconds.
Rapture has already been used.
And Dream Coil.
Yeah.
With the Rolling Thunder. Like, a lot of the control that LGD have is gone.
Golem is still there though.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That is a very big one. And Ursa didn't use his BKB either.
Rod of Atos onto Ori.
Oh, they need to deal with his high ground. Who gets
If
it
they
first?
can get the kill to the Warlock, that means a lot of their lockdown is gone. They'll take out Y. He'll buy back immediately. The silence comes through onto the Nyx Assassin, but they also silence up this Ursa. They're going to leave this Nyx to potentially die, but he's got the Vendetta, so he'll start to walk away. They've got the dust. They'll have the control, and they'll get the kill. Yule's up into the air. There's no way out of this one. And eventually, even with that stun, he'll fall.
Are they going to go back into the pit with this is the question. Coil is back up in 20. DP still didn't use any of her big stuff. So she's ready to fight. But it's getting very hard to contest this Roshan. Coil up in 10. That's the big one. Sync you, faking the roll.
Finger, Hex, Chaotic Offering, so they're going to start with the Rock. They've also got the Roll. They're listening to some rock and roll music as they go after ViCi. But right now, they've used quite a bit in their ultis. They haven't got much yet, but they've got the Rupture. They have the Dream Coil. They'll get the kill to Poyo. They'll turn this one around, getting the kill onto the PA and taking him out for 60 seconds. So even with the Exorcism, they're going to chase onto Ori. He's been used up into the air. The Air Spike comes in from DY. It's not going to be enough to save Ori just yet. And now they're trying to focus their attention on Old 11. He's got the Lotus Orb on him, but it's not looking like it's good for him anyway. As the stun from Nyx Assassin might save the Timber's life, giving up his own. As there's the Earth Shock, they've got the Blood right down, and they'll get the kill on a PYW. Radabatos comes out onto DY, and he'll just taunt his way into the grave. So 4 kills there for the side of LGD. And what do you know? They're back towards Roche.
Yep. And this just shows you, as soon as PA is ruptured, it's just a sitting duck. He tried to TP out, gets coiled last second. You itemize to survive, but you can't do that. Like, you can't survive. So, tough game for them. It was a good rock drop.
Yeah, rock and roll right in the front. And
DP almost died right away. Gets away, but you can see the rupture on the PA. Doesn't have BKB up. Gets coiled as well. And it's just too easy for LGD to execute these team fights. Like, Timbersaw is, when you compare him to a Bloodseeker in this game, very useless. There's just not much you can do. Keeps getting blown up by the Ursa, gets all his mana burned by the Ursa.
And Ursa now has that shard to work with.
So he did end up getting the shot. He's very close to his MKB as well, which is really good against the PA, but of course also
Rupture
on the Nyx.
and
He ate the cheese.
All right, let's see. They get a quick kill on a PYW and a finger, but the Aeon Disc gets there. So, you know, they're not going to get the kill onto the puck. The BKB's been popped by Ori. They're just trying to fight into this one. They got the kill onto Y.
Yeah.
But you can see, even with the BKB, there's not a lot that Poyo can do except for killing off a Warlock. Radabatos comes through, and DY dead again.
Warlock is dead. They had to use the cheese on a Bloodseeker at least, so that's something. But you can just really see the lack of damage here from the Radiant side. Ursa 600 to his MKB. Going back to the point, it's also very good against the Heaven's Halberd that Timber is building. Death is completed though, so her damage output is going to be quite a bit better.
The problem is, can you survive to output that damage? And it doesn't look likely.
And the problem is also Bloodseeker sitting at 24 armor. Even the Pangolier is sitting at 24 because he already has a Lotus Orb. He's massive. Who can you really kill other than this Warlock?
Yeah.
Puck has the Aeon Disc, as we said multiple times, and now MKB's up.
Last exchange, and he was fine.
Yeah. This MKB now is kind of like the nail in the coffin, I feel like. You had your evasion, you had your fun, but now you're gonna get clobbered. Clubbed to death.
Dagon Orbital 4. Going straight for the Dagon 5. No Ags just yet.
Yeah. Which is really the only question mark I have. It works out so far, but that's like the only comeback avenue, I'd say. Like, if they can fight through their BKBs, get a couple of kills.
11K lead. LGD don't have to force anything just yet.
Yeah. Usually a scoreline like this is like 20K lead or more, 30K.
Yeah.
ViCi doing a good job and staying in it.
That's the only thing. Like, you know, it's not to say that they're playing awfully, but that's all they're doing is staying in it.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And it just gets harder and harder.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Like, this Dire scaling
Radiant's
is
bottom tower
brutal.
has fallen.
Like, even 3 more armor corruption doesn't feel amazing with that talent. Like, it just
Radiant's
seems like
middle
ViCi,
tower is under attack.
PA. I don't know if you're going to get anything done as this Phantom Assassin in this game at the moment, if at all, during the entirety of the game.
Radiant's
Whoever you
bottom
jump
tower
at, this
is
Ursa is
under
gonna
attack.
just run on top of you and destroy you while you get raptured. So you have to be very, very careful and mindful of your positioning.
Going Center comes out with BKBB popping here by the Death Prophet. In the air is the Ursa that follows up with the stun, but they've got the Lotus Orb, so now things problematic for ViCi in trying to go in onto Ame.
That's a pop BKB by the Death Prophet. A very important tool to stay alive in these team fights. Down for 50 seconds.
Overwhelming blink, I believe, for Jinkyu next.
Just tanking up. I like it though.
He's so farmed.
Yeah. I mean, even the Warlock is already farmed too. They're already farmed.
The Warlock with 7,000 gold.
Yep.
Okay.
8,000 that melee creep.
Sure.
It was just a draw the creep aggro, of course, so I think you can clear that out.
Dire are scanning.
Basher next for Poyoyo. But again, we'll see if it ends up being enough.
Basher also just flew out to the Ursa. Oh no, he's actually going St. Joshua, sorry.
And you've got Ags on Faith Beyond, so he's got 2 rupture charges.
Oh god, that's scary. Gonna use one right here.
Coming over, and Jules, Lotus, bounced up into the air with Rolling Thunder. I don't even know if they need to use the rupture as they clean him up.
It's so easy for them. It really is. Aegis reclaimed though. And look at the triangle of the die. They're all just chilling there and farming at camp together while their base is under siege.
And then TP back from Faith Beyond.
Oh, he found him.
Radameto stopping the TP. And that's 1 rupture.
Now he has no
And
TP, he's dead.
He has got the BKB, but that's it. He'll pop it, he'll try to fight, but now there's the
Rupture
second
again.
rupture, and he'll jump over and just die.
And they're just bullying him at this point.
Yeah.
They're just bullying right there. And he didn't believe they would catch him. He didn't BKB TP. If he did, he would have lived. But well played there by Faith Beyond. Faith Beyond.
Very, very underwhelming from ViCi in this game.
Yeah, the game just looks pretty like LG is kind of playing against bots. It's a very reactive play style from ViCi.
Again, every spike comes into that's going to be reflected on the Lotus, stunning up Ori, and the quick damage there from Ami to get the kill. They're onto the high ground. They've got buyback on both the Phantom Assassin as well as the Death Prophet, but it's not looking good here for ViCi. They're going to continue to tip JinQ as he gave that Lotus Orb.
And he basically killed the DP by himself with a Lotus Orb. Well, DY did help him a little bit. He's like, DY is like, I'm going to give you a little hand here, bro. But yeah, DP is dead for 40. Here's buyback. If he doesn't use it, there's 2 sides gone.
Yeah, it's 2 sides.
Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
Ooh. See if they can throw a little rock and roll.
Roll up.
There's the roll.
I hate that sound it makes.
Dum 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 dum.
And I guess the story of the game with the kills has never really been that much about the gold, but the experience is so heavily in favor of
30,000 experience in the favor of LGD.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be 5 levels apiece almost.
I mean, just look at Syncue. He's level 21 almost. What's the highest level on Radiant? 21 on the PA. Wow. Right there you have it already.
So they'll set up. Roche potentially up soon. And almost has that overwhelming blink. He is ultra farmed. He's actually keeping up with Faith Beyond. He's done a lot in this game.
And he's at 2.6k health as well. He's obese. They're all obese.
ViCi on the high ground, and they've got the stun out onto the Ursa, but I don't know if that's going to matter. They already killed off DY, the throw down the chaotic offering, and that puts PYW up in the air with the rolling thunder. The damage coming in from Koyoyo is not looking like enough, and he'll end up dead. He's got buyback available, but I don't think he really wants to use it. Rupture comes down onto this Timber Saw. They bought back on all 3, so it's do or die time for ViCi at the moment, and it looks like they'll get on top of JinQ. Do they have the damage to get the kill here onto this Pangolier? It's not looking likely. He rolls up. He goes with the swashbuckle. I say it's not likely, but eventually he's run down, and I eat my words for breakfast.
No Roshan though. They will respawn in 2. And as you said, they had to commit a ton of buybacks. They did not kill a single core once more.
Yeah, they killed the 4 and the 5, but it feels like when you kill JinQ, you are killing a core at this point in the game.
Yeah, that is true.
There was nothing that Poyoyo could do. He ends up
I mean,
basically
at this point
just
you
dying
can.
so fast. There's nothing this PA can do in this game at the moment, and
Yep.
I don't know if that's going to change with time. I don't think it changes with time because you've got 2 ruptures. You have ways to control him, BKB or not.
And that's why you really got to be decisive at the very beginning. Do you want to out-farm them, or do you want to fight? He went in between, and now it just kind of feels like he, as you said, has no chance in this game to do much of anything. Lion just running uphill by himself. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
PYW also spotted. Radoveitos comes in from Faith Beyond on the backlines. They've got a two-man Dream Coil coming through. They're getting the kill on a PYW as well as DY. Both of them don't have buyback and just popped on nothing to say. With the BKB and the Rupture onto Poyoyo, he'll eventually be taken out. That's 3 heroes dead. Rupture onto the Death Prophet, who will BKB and TP away, and they'll call GG.
Yeah, no chance.
LGD will take the series 2-1. They'll be going to the group stage while ViCi go down to the very dangerous wild card with the teams that are in it. That was just an explosive game from LGD, and only LGD. ViCi really didn't do much of anything in Game 3, much to our surprise.
Game 2, Game 3, VG looked very different than Game 1 VG. LGD just crushed them in Game 2 and 3. There's not much more you can say about that. Which now almost secures NTI, I think. They're like 1 point short or so.
Yeah, it's like they have 800 and the threshold's 801 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a very one-sided draft, I think. The PA, I think he could have solo carried this game. If he went Battle Fury first, you get super fat, 1 item ahead of the Ursa or so. You can cause a lot of damage, but felt very insecure about his item build. Like, I don't know. There was just nothing really coming from him. And once more,
Another hug.
yeah, we did it yesterday. But
Oh, this is a better hug. Oh, that felt so good.
last series again of this season.
Yeah,
Was a pleasure to work with you,
for
sir.
China. It's been a pleasure.
Was a pleasure to
you
work with the
guys.
panel as well, who we're sending it back to now.
Yeah, we're going to send it back to the panel. Love you guys, chat. See you guys later. It's been fun. Back over to you guys.
It's been a pleasure all around for sure, and it has been a wonderful journey as we have now closed out all of the upper division for the DPC, the inaugural first 2 seasons of this league format, and it's been an enjoyable experience all 6 weeks. Well, I guess for China it was more like 12 weeks with that first season.
Yeah, more like 14 weeks with
Give or
the
take.
14,
with
yeah.
the pause.
What's 14 weeks between friends? And now, as you heard correctly, PSG.LGD now enter the esteemed group of teams that have 800 points, which means that if the current state of the DPC, no one gains like a lot of points, then that means that they will be making it to TI, and it's pretty secure for them. All the 800-point teams are pretty secure. ViCi Gaming, however, are in the 600-point territory, which means that they're on the edge. If anyone ends up passing them, like No Ping or Liquid, then that means that ViCi may have to go through regionals.
They're on the edge, but
They are on the edge.
they have to make sure at the major that they do well to surpass that edge, to get a couple of points there, to be in the same league as PSG.LGD when it comes to TI qualifier. In this series, we were talking about stability and how they were playing throughout the season. They didn't really show it here from the draft, from the item builds. First game was good, but then the next 2,
I think today was actually the worst performance from ViCi we've seen in the second season. Like, they did not look like themselves. Like, we can't take anything away from PSG.LGD in this one, because they pretty much played flawlessly, especially Jin Q, some clutch Lotus Orbs, good rolls, controlling the enemy team, like nothing to say, popping off on Puck, Fate Beyond. Like, everyone was just doing their job. Rod of Atos into Aghanim Scepter, toying with Phantom Assassin there, not allowing her to TP out. You can't play Dota. Like, you, as a Phantom Assassin, you want to be maneuverable, you want to be jumping from one target to another. If you have a Rupture, if you have a second Rupture, what about the second Breakfast? What about the second Rupture?
We've had one Rupture, but how about another?
and he goes for SNY first item. Orb of Corrosion into SNY. I don't like that build. I don't see you can't scale. You kind of itemize to survive in these early game engagements, but you're playing versus Puck, Ursa, Pango. You're not gonna live. Like, if you join these fights with SNY, that small part of
Is
stats,
that your
resistance,
job,
and HP.
to survive early
Yeah,
on,
it's
or
not.
to be greedy, get Battle Fury? I wouldn't mind seeing Orb of Corrosion into Deso and just fight, but also, like, Battle Fury sounded a bit better here, just to stay ahead 1 item.
And his laning phase went amazing.
Why was
Yeah, it went
exactly.
well.
He got the first blood also, if I remember correctly. Like, but investing all these gold into small items and not getting anything back from it, that's a bit tricky. And if you see the itemization on the PSG.LGD, 2 Eon Disc against Nyx Assassin, 1 on Puck, 1 on Bloodseeker, to be able to deal with that. You know, just get your spells off in a team fight. That's what matters. And you only have this counter initiation coming out from Rock if you don't feel like you want to take that fight. drop it.
Because of that, you didn't have a single kill on the two supports of ViCi Gaming throughout this whole game, which isn't something that you usually see from them. And yeah, just I would blame a little bit on the itemization from the PA. You're trying to match the same aggression and the playstyle that Ursa is bringing, but actually Ursa can fight because he has that built-in save with his ultimate. He can get in with the diffusal, get a couple of pickoffs. It's easy for him. For PA, with SMY, you're just not doing that.
Don't get me wrong. Status resistance good, great against Puck, against everything that they got. It's just, it's not an early item.
Maybe
if
later.
you don't deal damage, Ursa, if you want to battle against him, he'll gladly take those fights because he comes online much faster with his item build, Morbid Mask, Diffusal Blade, get the first Roche, like second Roche, he picks up the shard, pretty much feels unkillable. They also have to do something with that sound. Like, it has to be changed.
You don't like the drum?
No.
Well, maybe that Sage and Yasha build was forced because of our MVP. Nothing to say. Like you said, he needed to deal with the puck. Too much pressure being created. And
he pretty much dealt with everyone, not only with the PA. This Puck was on point. Nothing to say overall. Puck, Dead Prophet, and Magnus. Maybe Puck a little bit less than those first two, but on these heroes you can always expect him to perform well. And when a game is crucial, such as this one for you, you give him one of these three and he carries you.
It's a good case scenario for China, though. LGD had a point advantage over ViCi to begin with, and now them being at this 800 threshold means that it's more likely that the four Chinese teams will make it through just purely off of points. Aster and IG are already secured, and then now ViCi and LGD, while I'm sure ViCi would have preferred to have their playoff or group stage placement and not have to go through wildcards, because now they have to slug it with IG and Nigma and Secret and AS Monaco Gambit and Execration.
That's why it's called Wildcard. Gonna be wild up there. Yeah, it's gonna be bloodbath. A lot of good teams, a lot of great teams. They're waiting. So.
You usually expect that, like when you see these teams, you don't expect them in the wildcard. Like this wildcard could be a tournament itself.
I know, but looking at the teams, the top four teams from China, you have Aster, LGD, ViCi Gaming, and IG. Both of the, like all four of these teams can pretty much win a major. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if we have like four Chinese teams in top 6 as well, considering how strong they look. Someone has to be first. Someone has to go to that wild card.
Meanwhile, lower division, we have now resolved the tiebreakers, and LBZS will be returning to upper division after a 3-way tiebreaker with Asta Ares and Magma, and they will be joining Phoenix Gaming in something. We don't know what they will be joining them in because we don't really know what the next season will entail, but it's nice. And they will be competing in TI regional qualifiers. And like we said, with the wildcards being their own bracket, this TI qualifier for China is going to be cutthroat. RNG, we haven't gotten a chance to look at them in the while. They were looking good in the first few weeks. Elephant as well.
eHome. We're going to have RNG you mentioned already.
And then Phoenix.
Elephant. Phoenix, yep. Anyone else that we're really missing here?
I don't think Sparking Arrow Gaming will be that competitive. They never ended up winning a single game in this upper division, unfortunately, so maybe not them. LBZS, though, they were upper division previously.
Yeah, they looked in the first season. They pretty much looked like LBZS in the first season, like Sparking Arrow Gaming in the second season. So maybe you can't expect them to take on these big boys, but with some crazy drafts, anything is possible.
And now with that, we have locked in every single team that will be attending the Animajor. So this is what we've been building up to for the past 6 weeks. I've had an immense pleasure commentating at Lizard. This has been, like I said, an 6 weeks plus probably like another 12 weeks, so like an 18-week journey for you.
It's been a long, wild ride covering and getting to know the Chinese region a little bit better. They've taught me a lot. I've been just enjoying some good old Dotes. Really happy to have been here.
Yeah, gotta say, you know, once again, pleasure to work with a bunch of nice lads, and we connected well. Thanks to all you guys out there who are watching us through our corny jokes, through our good and bad times. You know, sometimes we feel sleepy, but we're still trying to give 100% every single time. Thanks you for supporting us. Thanks to all our sponsors and producers and just all the people who are making this possible.
took the words right out of my mouth. It's been amazing. This whole league format has been a very, very interesting change of pace for Dota. And I hope you guys at home have been enjoying it. We've been enjoying bringing it to you. All of us here at PGL and Perfect World, we appreciate the company. We'll hopefully see you next time.
Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream again. Yeah, facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in. Waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream, 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 dream. We tried to work this out before, but now I'm stronger. Ignite the fire. Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream again. Yeah, facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in. Waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream, 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 dream. We tried to work this out before, but now I'm stronger. some more, but I don't want you. Tracing city lights, make it right. I don't wanna press play. Ooh, days washing.